Want to control the POVs you watch on the official OWCS broadcast? Choose and switch between the mainstream and up to 4-player POVs, or watch them all at once. Join the chat and earn drops. Watch it on your mobile. Or cast it to the big screen with Chromecast. Watch it, control it, face it.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Now, I know we've had some interesting hiccups over the course of today, and you don't see 3 boxes, you only see 2. That's right, it's myself, Rich Red, here, along with Johnny. I know. Zoe just had to take some time away. She was ragging on Johnny a little bit too much. We just had to say, you know what, just take a time out. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It was not my fault.
I know.
I didn't do anything.
Totally kidding. I'm kidding.
I did not do anything.
But until we were able to get Zoe back in here, it'll be just the 2 of us as we go through this before entering into the grand finals, which both you and I are really excited to see because we get to see this revenge match from what we had yesterday. Isn't that right, Johnny?
Yeah, that is exactly right. And undoubtedly, it's going to be the 2 best teams in the North American region. I feel like GK, they're sniffing a little bit of revenge here. I really do think that yesterday they tried some stuff out, and that just means that they're so well prepared going into today's matchup instead. And I really do think that we might go the distance here. If we get 7 maps, it'll be absolute cinema, of course. Yeah, but I really do think that there's a good chance for it, Rich.
We had some cinema already a little while ago, but you know what kind of cinema we're going to have? We're going to have our NA Superstar. Yes, we did have the option available to all of you for this stage 2, and we get to see what that verdict actually is, Johnny. So I'm looking forward to being able to announce it between these 4 that we had. I know you had one for Kuffa, I had one for Infected, we had Zoe for Lethal, and then Chronix coming in. And the overall verdict here is going to be the NA Superstar reveal is Chronix. The 4th one that we had so heavily touted. You had mentioned about the development coming through this stage, the Freya being such a significant factor, and then what we've already been able to see in Nightmare. Granted, they were not the ones to move up into this grand finals, but someone we still collectively have to recognize as a talent in our eyes.
Yeah, I think Chronic kind of defined the stage 2 in North America. Obviously, Freya being released really changed the game, especially the first few weeks when the meta was kind of settling. Freya was like, oh my god, this character is overpowered. And Chronic was the first go-to hit scan player that really just fell in love with this character and the skill set and was able to produce with what Freya had to offer. And it really like blew up Chronic's career to the point now where, like I said earlier, we're really hailing Chronic as one of the best hit scan players in the entire region. So I think when you think back to stage 2 of 2025, it's going to be us thinking back about Chronic and the impact he had on Freya, and so very much deserved for winning stage 2 MVP.
Absolutely. And before we start getting into that grand finals, we actually have an amazing opportunity once again. We had it for EMEA, we get to have it for NA now. We get to talk to some coaches. We both have Wheats and Kasaurus here with us, where we actually get to pick their brains before going into this grand finals. How's it going to both of you? How you doing?
Going all right.
Great, how about you?
Okay, want to make sure? Cool, good, I can hear. Okay, want to make sure you guys can hear us. So again, we've got both of you. You know, Johnny, I know you said you had a couple of questions you wanted to have going into this with both of them. So who do you want to hit up first between the 2?
All right. We gotta clear this up. We gotta clear this up before we enter the grand final. Kasaurus, is it your birthday today?
It is my birthday, yes. So I'd love nothing more from Wheats than a nice win.
Happy birthday, man. I don't know if I can give you a gift like that, but we can make something else happen.
All right, Wheats can't get you. Yeah, happy birthday. Wheats doesn't want to give that nice of a birthday gift. Yeah, you know, I agree with that. I don't think that's maybe the first thing you think of, but okay. So Johnny, what was your second one?
Well, I wanted to ask Wheats, first of all, obviously took a bit of a loss yesterday against Team Liquid. There were some bans deferred in the first those couple of maps there. Like, what really was the game plan against Liquid yesterday versus to what you guys have in store for today's matchup?
I think yesterday we were just not really playing our own game. We were kind of overthinking ourselves, and you know, today we more or less went back to basics and it worked out pretty well. So
Okay, all right. So I'll have a question now on the other side after that. So it's going to be Kasaurus. After what you played yesterday, you had put yourself into the grand finals, and now you were able to sit in the wings for a moment, see how Geekay is playing, and they're going to be entering into this grand finals. Is there anything that you've really been able to see from what they've just shown now, after even Wheats just mentioning going back to the basics, that you're feeling is a little different, or do you still feel that this is the same type of expectation you're going to have for the team to compete against Geekay today?
Oh, I think they were trying out new stuff yesterday. I think the patch hit and they tried to figure out like a new comp for them. I don't think necessarily worked out, like we said. I think we'll see the old GK style with the Hazard, with the BAP, with the Lucio a lot today. Man, we'll have counters ready for that.
I guess I have to ask though, you beat them yesterday, but there was one composition you weren't quite able to overcome, and that was the Batiste Lifeweaver. So given that they've been so extremely good on that composition throughout the stage, do you have something a little special planned if GK brings it out here today?
Yeah, we were ready. We were ready yesterday too, and we actually overcame it quite well on Kings Row, and they ended up coming out with some insane clutch. But now we're even more ready for it.
Alrighty, well, we greatly appreciate both of your time. Thank you so very much, Wheats and Kasaurus, for being with us to talk a little bit before getting into this, what we're hoping to be a very exciting matchup between the two of you for this grand finals. I know you've got so much more ahead of you, but right now we're really looking forward to seeing who gets that #1 spot. So thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for the birthday wishes and best of luck, Sweet.
Yep, good luck.
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. But again, that would be a great birthday gift. I mean, you go to the team, you're like, all right, guys, I know we got to win, but we have to win because it's my birthday.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I feel bad for like, if it doesn't end up happening at GK's, like, perfect, we're gonna ruin Kasaurus' birthday. Yep. They're like added motivation to just like, it's Kasaurus' birthday, let's take him down on his birthday. But yeah, very happy for Kasaurus. Happy birthday to you, Kasaurus. Hopefully has a good one regardless of outcome of this spectacular match. I can't wait to get into it here, Rich, because like I said, this is going to be an absolute banger, and especially over here in North America, the compositions they've been playing, the tracers and stuff, it's been so explosive. The hitscan players, it's been phenomenal, so I can't wait to get into it.
Well, we can really start diving into Team Liquid. I know we got to see Geekay a little bit earlier. We can talk about them in a moment, but Team Liquid is who we want to highlight. Let's take a look at the players that we've got going into today and what we're really going to have brought to the table, because yesterday was an interesting one. Johnny, I think you and I both felt really good about their performance and really the highlights that they were able to bring against Geekay.
Yeah, but also I think it's noteworthy that when Liquid looked at their best, as they progressed throughout the stage, it was actually when the meta catered towards some of the more brig Batiste compositions, things slowed down a little bit, and they started coming online. But yesterday, Vega was back on the Lucio, RuPaul still on that signature Batiste, and so it really just looks like Vega said himself in the winner's interview, they've just clicked as a team and they're finally playing to their fullest potential. This is a team going into 2025 that had tons of expectations on their shoulder, obviously a partner team, some of the best talent in North America, but the fact that they weren't able to qualify for Champions Clash, it was considered a bit of a failure. But throughout the rest of Stage 2, they've massively improved week after week, and now, after taking down GK yesterday, they find themselves here in the grand final, and now they just have one more match to win the Stage 2 finals.
And they're in prime position to do so as we take a look at their opponent, Geekay, who has worked their way back through this loser's bracket towards the tail end of it to be able to compete against Team Liquid, which again, we know already that they started to get back to the basics like Wheats has talked about, and you had already highlighted Kuffa and the versatility and the amount of hero pool that is brought to this from a tanking role. Lethal was just accelerating when it came to the DPS aspect and really being able to take control of these. And even Maimon working alongside with it, that communication to Kuffa. There's just so many different factors for this team. I think that's going to really allow them now to put a more formidable challenge against Team Liquid in this, especially when you have to get to that first of 4. It is so important now for the long run that you work through this, and I think because of just this overnight talk and what they want to do, they say, you know what, we tested these things out. Even recognition from, the coach from Team Liquid, where at this point they were trying things, they know they're going to get back to basics, but still feels really confident. I think Geekay is in a position to where they can come back tenfold, but birthday wishes may happen.
Yeah. I mean, You look at some of the compositions today, Rich, and it just feels like you said, like they're just playing comfort at this point. Because you look at yesterday, and it was a bit of a departure from what really made this a fantastic team throughout Stage 2. You know, they obviously have their explosive elements. Lethal can just take over games. Maimon is also a great damage player as well. But for the most part, what has made GK great is the fact that they're such a smart team. Their setups are so good. You look at the Baptiste Lifeweaver, no one has really been able to take it down. But yesterday, it was more of the Mauga. We're gonna play Mauga with Reaper and Venture. It was a way more aggressive, way higher tempo, and GK as the initiator. And that kind of style hasn't really been what has made them great so far this stage. So GK maybe slowing things down, back to basics, what really earned them their success here in Stage 2. Maybe that's the recipe for success here in the final match of Stage 2 in North America.
But we're not going to make you wait any longer. It is a waiting moment here for the NA region, so we're going to get this underway. We're going to send it on over to our casters, Jaws and Avril. Take it away, my friends.
Thank you very much, Rich and Johnny, over on the desk. Yes, it is Championship Sunday. Someone is going to get crowned the King of North America for Stage 2. Now, Avril, will it be Zera, who did end up winning that Stage 1 trophy, or will it be his former team in Geekay, formerly Nightmare? Insane stuff here in our final series. I mean, Geekay just come off with a hot win, a 3-0 event against Nightmare in that lower bracket final.
A convincing one as well. You know, we saw some signs of life from Nightmare, but otherwise it was GK all the way. They wanted a strong statement saying yesterday was a mistake. Today is going to be different. That was reflected in the coach interview as well. We were saying we're going to go back to basics. We wanted to try some stuff yesterday. It didn't work out. It got punished. Kasaurus, he's ready though. He mentioned, look, we're ready for what GK is going to bring to board on this grand final. They have their counters. They got the counter stratting. This could be a decent series that will go a potential distance. And also, could be a long one too. Look at that. Potential 7 on board.
Yep. First of 4 format, of course, in our finals. Team Liquid picking the map. We're going to Ilios with a Lucio ban and a Freya ban for Geekay.
Now we're going to get rid of OWCS here. Ilios is a map that I don't think we've seen super common in the Western regions. In Korea, this is like always first map every single time. Freya is massive on this map as well. It's banned away by GK. No Lucio. To me, reads this is going to be a Brig and a potential look, or it could be the Juno coming through. BAP, kind of, you want to play that one with the Lucio. BAP Juno could still potentially be viable, but I think we might be seeing Winston, we might be seeing Hazard here. It's dive versus dive, I think, is going to be the opening. The difference to me is Infected's willingness to play the ball. Cuffer actually used to have a very strong ball back in the day, but I just haven't seen him play in such a long time. I'm not sure if GK are going to be willing to bring that up, but I know Infected and Liquid will.
Yeah, I mean, he's more of a brawl player at this moment in time, like Ram, Orisa, that kind of vibe. But yeah, Infected and Liquid, they love going to Ilios. They love playing the Wrecking Ball. They love playing things like Winston. We've even seen Ball banned out against Infected in matches before. So like, this seems almost inevitable. And a map like Ilios as well, Avril, it's like, you don't need the Lucio at all. You can have that Brig backline with Akiri, with an Ana. Like, you can play a little bit slower with the Wrecking Ball. It's not like an all-in, pure focused dive comp. Like, you're pretty chill with that. And I think this ball as well, or with this Lucio ban, sorry, is going to stop teams from running down a backline while the ball is off doing his own little shenanigans. Before we get into the match, though, don't forget, Season 17 is live right now. Before we get into this first map, we'll jump to a quick trailer, just give the players another couple of minutes.
Lost. I'm alive. Now we play in my world. Selecting upgrades to match new user. I think a level up is in order. How did you get in here? Don't touch that. Hey, this is not part of my programming. Class dismissed. Overdrive activated. Final upgrades inbound. You have unlocked the privilege to annihilate. Leaving so soon. Game over.
Come back.
Okay.
Want to control the POVs you watch on the official OWCS broadcast? Choose and switch between the mainstream and up to 4-player POVs, or watch them all at once. Join the chat and earn drops. Watch it on your mobile. Or cast it to the big screen with Chromecast. Watch it, control it, face it.
All right, we are back. Invites have been sent out. Players are joining the lobby right now as we get into our grand finals here of Stage 2 in North America. There's the map set, and it's first to 4.
Ilios going to be map number 1, and I looked at the history so far in playoffs. Ilios got played one time, one Busan. The rest have all been Oasis, but specifically for Team Liquid, their 5 previous open control maps have all been Oasis. Fun fact for you, the last time that Team Liquid actually played Ilios in an official was in that week 4 match versus GK.
We're going right to it as well. You got to think Infected playing ball, and GK are going to know that too. Like, I think the only issue, and I guess the question for me would be this Sombra play from MyMoan. It seems like it's just a shoo-in, really.
Yeah, and that week 4 game was actually lethal, playing the Sombra with the Tracer on MyMoan. So, you know, you do have to sacrifice the Tracer if you want to play into the Sombra. They're both really good into the ball. And this is assuming that Infected will definitely play the ball, which, you know, we're still not entirely sure on. We have kind of different bans coming in as well, because Lucio Kiriko was widely featured in that week 4 game. This time around, no Lucio, which to me, it just kind of, it really does say that potential for Brig and Ana should still be on board. I'm not too sure where Brig and Ana currently stand in the Season 17 meta. We saw that one Ana in our previous matchup, but it was with the Juno, so I'm not entirely sure if that's really how you want to be playing it. And we haven't seen any Brig. I can't really remember seeing too much Brig so far in this current week of playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, thing like Ruins is a good map still for the Brig and the Ana, and to be fair, like even well isn't too bad. Like, you can play cage side or you can play like main, and you just kind of chill by the little mini. It feels a little bit better playing the Kiriko though on a map like that, because when you do get dove, like okay, you are fighting in that choke forever. You are fighting in the in cage as well on the left hand or the right hand side. We'll have to wait and see. Double flex obviously is always going to be on the table, and it's going to have to be now, considering Lucio being banned away. I don't think we're going to see anything too slow, and I think with Infected, he's going to bring out the Wrecking Ball. You already know it, but the better stages for the ball of Ruins and Lighthouse. Like, when it comes to, well, it's like okay, but not nearly as potent as it is on the other two stages.
It's a 2-1 win for Liquid as well back in week 4 in that opening match with GK and Team Liquid. So we'll see how our compositions look once we actually get into map. This is map 1 of Grand Finals, Jaws in North America, Team Liquid and GK.
Yep, a rematch from that upper bracket. That was a 3-1 as well to Team Liquid. The only map taken by GK was that King's Row, and a very close one at that. Control, Oasis, that Circuit Royale game. Liquid were in control, and they looked honestly like in new form. This is a team that everybody expected to be at the top, but it was Nightmare and Geekay that were just head and shoulders above the rest. And now it is the chance for Team Liquid to prove that they are the top dogs. Take down GK again, who went lossless in the regular season. They went 7-0 with only losing 4 maps. Gates are going to open. Looks like Infected at the moment, locking the Winston.
Both Winstons look to be locked. It's Brig Anna on one side for GK. It's going to be Anna for RuPaul. Vega on the Kiriko. So we did say Anna quite likely, given that there's not going to be Lucio. It's the Tree Fire though. There's a bit of an X factor, a bit of a rarity. Don't see this in the West a lot. It's falling out of favor in Korea as well, outside of a couple of players.
So worth keeping in mind too, like, that's a lot of healing from RuPaul and Vega. Aberrant, of course, will be packing people every now and then, but no, like, defensive countermeasure for Team Liquid. They've already lost Vega to a nade, stopping that Swift Step from coming in. That's going to be a cap. Very cleanly done by GK.
More defensive composition with the Brig and the cast in play. It's just harder for Infected and Zero to get value. But a hard hit scan from Lethal as well. Not super long range like a Sojin or maybe even a Freya, but enough to just keep the lid on to treat, you'd imagine, who currently is struggling for damage. You really want to see a lot more damage out of Fire early, but 26% leaves you wanting.
All right, Lethal just died in bubble there. Didn't receive the support required from Abral and UV. We're currently under duress right now. Tree just looking straight at the Brig. Good nade there, but the Farah pretty high in the sky. Sniper Monkey Cuffer takes down Tree, but the point did get flipped.
Well, nice dives there from Infected, like you say, isolating, using the bubbles and converting into the point flip in first fight win. First ultimate on board is going to end up being Nano Boost from RuPaul. Timing quite a fair bit ahead of Ultraviolet as well.
Nano Boost just waiting for Cuffer, making sure you're keeping track of where the Winston is going to be very important for this backline of Team Liquid. There's the Nano on to the Far, though. Little one tap on to Lethal. That's going to be a complete reset. GK not messing around either. Like, they lose one. They know they can't win the fight. They aren't sticking around too long, trying anything too risky.
They are going to return pretty quickly. Waimon just gets naded, instantly shut down by RuPaul. There's a trade, though. No Primal, 95.
Chasing Ultraviolet, 95 on the Primal. Yep, so Cover can't stay alive in the backline, extending the lead for Team Liquid, who, although have lost RuPaul, has still got Vega on the point with the ult.
Just the instant trades coming on in. You talked about GK wanting to play maybe a little bit more patiently. We're going to see that quick Nano. Not too sure what Lethal was. Ideally not trailing behind by too much. And missed sick. In fact, it's going to go for the Primal anyway.
Yeah, Mymone spotting RuPaul there, but RuPaul way too high up for Mymone to be effective. Primal Rage is going to end in just a moment. Is Infected still in this fight, by the way. Lethal just drops down from the heavens, hits the nade, hits the right click. Easy clap. Infected down, and there's the flip. GK now in control, and they save their own Primal Rage. And most importantly here as well, this rally.
Rush didn't get used that last fight, Tree, so waiting for opportunity to get this play with the barrage on board as well. This actually not going to be quite it. I was going to say,
oh, this is aggro.
You know, quick pop off on a support or Cuffer would be pretty nasty. Have to be careful about bubble placement. Have to be careful about sleep dart as well. But otherwise, there's not that much to stop the barrage. You would imagine that Tree can find an angle here.
Big Needle Vega. Clear out GK right now, who are in the backline. It's been kind of tough for Liquid to kind of step up. Both supports kind of holding around that left-hand side. And even look where Cover's playing. He's got Primal Rage, so He's got the get out of jail free card. Eventually, he's going to back off, but Infected has been critical health for the last, like, 30 seconds or so.
And now you have to wait for the Nano. RuPaul's going to have a slight advantage, but Ultraviolet will have this in response in just short order. Nano's going to go and trigger the Nano barrage.
On the Pharah, Rally's going to get popped by Admiral, but Tree is hunting for the brick, but can't get a good angle to use the barrage. RuPaul doesn't have and trade it cross-map, but an Admiral staying alive here, generating that overhealth, and also, more importantly, armor for himself is going to keep him in the fight. Unfortunately for Ultraviolet, though, goes down to a kunai, is now Cuffer trying to stall at this point to 99. Team Liquid doing it, find the flip. Barrage connects with Cuffer. And now Geekay losing Ultraviolet and using the ability to use Nano cannot win that fight.
But they wanted the oven on slow bake, but Tree still delivers the cake. As Geekay going to be forced out 97%. It's the kill to Ultraviolet that I think was the impactful one. No Nano to save Geekay in the fight. Team Liquid, strong position to push this to 99.
Oh, what a stick. What a stick. Nano, again, evaporates from the map. Ultraviolet down, rush from Vega. He's held on this one, this entire round pretty much. One rush to rule them all as Geekay now struggle to keep themselves alive. It's only April available for heals. Ends up getting taken down. Ultraviolet will be back in just a moment, but might not even be able to use the Nano, to be very honest with you. Mymone touches again to re-trigger OT. Cuffer does get nanoed eventually, but there's 5 players from Liquid looking his way, and he's got no Primal Rage to back him up. UV going down, 2 fights in a row with Nano seals the deal for Team Liquid on round 1.
And we just confirmed the result, the Nano being played into Cuff in the last moments. There is no double Nano online, not high enough level yet in just a single round of Ilios. So no major perk. And unfortunately for Ultraviolet, going down at a critical moment, 2 critical moments back to back. No Nanos being played in. The fact that Zero is able to just weave in against the cast, against the Brig, even the utility that can be played through from the Ana, and land that stick. You couldn't ask for something better than Zera in that particular moment. Zera, such a difference maker playing against his old team. And Geekay feeling the difference of Zera being on Team Liquid, as he was the one to close the lid on that round.
There are players in this lobby that will be back-to-back champs as well in North America, whether that's Zera or Lethal, Cuffer, Admiral, and UV. Team Liquid want that #1 placing. Getting a better seeding too is going to be important going into mid-season. Tree swapping from Pharah. Oh, okay.
Already?
Did not expect this.
This is not King's Row, brother. Well, it'll be interesting. I'm just going to say this. I've seen T1 Proud play on this map on a Hanzo, and it did not look good. To be honest, though, maybe Proud just had an off day. Maybe Tree can show us something massive with those logs. But this is not a map like King's Row where you can find these extremely tight angles. Get value on the Dragon Strike.
I mean, I guess it's a decent spot to use Dragon Strike on the point. Go on, go for it again. Tree's trying to bait UV to jump in. It's not happening, though. Ooh, get owned. All right, quick flip for Team Liquid.
I will say Dragon Strike on the point is pretty crucial. However, beyond that, rest of the map super wide open. Team Liquid still with the opening fight win. Look at this backline, though. Geekay happy to lock in the Beaver comp straight away. However, I have said on control maps, if you are up against Dive, could be tricky. You have Winston, you have Tracer. If Admiral and Ultraviolet get caught at any point by divers, it's very hard to stay alive in these situations. Vega, though, low HP.
Oh, nice virus connection there from Sarah from cross map. Does end up picking up the mini, so chill for the time being. The virus connecting with Vega, but no initial kills, no follow-up there. After Lethal is tagging people down to about half HP. Mymone going pretty low, but same could be said for Infected. Might be able to get out of this one too. Yes, somehow. Gets out with what, like sub 50 HP? Gets the Nano back in and destroys the lamp. This is a tough spot for Geekay to be in. Admiral UV have gone to the Beaver backline, the Bat Lifeweaver. Oh, saves him from the post, but they've got no presence on the point.
Yeah, well, you need to see Lethal Mymone get something here, and that delivers Vega down 93% to Rush as well.
Wait! Did he hit Invis? Invis cross map? Holy Tree, sending out logs.
Check him
Lethal
PC.
down, check him PC.
Now, what a shot to come on through. Delivering on the Hanzo. Now it's time for the window. Tree on point as well, I believe.
Yep. I believe that Dragon Strike is going to do damage to that tree as well, worth keeping in mind. Does damage to deployables now, and I believe that does count. Mymone ends up getting logged by Tree. Okay, actually caught. I didn't realize Tree, you know, playing the Hanzo would be this effective on this map of all things. Yeah, get out of here, Lethal. EMP available, Avril, but it's his final fight for Team Liquid.
They haven't really been able to impact Tree, so maybe this is working out, just given the fact that none of GK are able to get on top of Tree, shut him down. He is actually hitting shots, including to Invis players, but 2% left. Oh, okay. I think he touched.
Okay.
He
Got
dies for
the touch. EMP connects, and no touch there. Team Liquid. Oh boy, taking that map. That Sonic arrow at the last second reveals the Sombra. As soon as that reveal thing shows up, hey, I have the EMP. They know where I am. EMP gets a couple of people, but they don't get the touch. A 2-0 for Team Liquid to start the series off.
Yeah, I don't know if I will fully say it's a C9, given that we already had the initial touch, but just things got a little bit too difficult there, Tree. Getting that recon off towards the end. I don't know, you know, Rose might not be here, but her spirit may still be lingering.
Bro, we need a replay on that shot. The Tree shot onto Lethal. He was mid-air, dude. Sniped him like Legolas across map, bro. Invis as well. Wasn't even looking. Gee.
Almost reminds me of, this is going to be a throwback, 2021. It was one of the Hawaii games where, this was after Leave got his MVP. Leave on Hanzo on the same map, Lighthouse, got an invisible shot onto Birdring, who EMPs at the same time. Birdring, EMPs, Leave instantly got a headshot at him, like the same frame, cancel the EMP, and basically killed an Invis Sombra with EMP. It was incredible. So it does remind me a little bit about that.
It's a throwback.
Yeah, it's a throwback. I got the archive stored in my brain. Keeping
the
track
archive
of
I like that.
those old years. It's fun old years, but what a map to come through. 2-0. Even the Hanzo working out on this map as well, and we see it early. We expect it potentially on the King's Row, but to see it this early on on Ilios even, it's just like, holy, this is actually Team Liquid having some real impact in the server. The fact that you bring up the Dragon Strike breaking Tree as well is a really good interaction that does actually kind of cost the Lifeline backline a little bit. The Prince is just basically dead even.
Yeah, 51-49. I think everybody's pretty impressed with how Liquid handled GK yesterday in that 3-1. That upper bracket match. It was a 2-0 to Team Liquid on Oasis, so Control kind of going similar directions here. Circuit Royale was the next pick for GK, and it's actually going to be King's Row. Okay. They're not going to ban Hanzo, surely. Surely they won't ban the Hanzo here.
If you ban the Hanzo, you leave your backline open to banning in response. So the issue here now has to be you have to prioritize the backline. Ban away probably, again, the Lucio, something like that, or even a Kiriko. You just want to kind of deny that composition in general. And then the response will probably be the Hazard ban. This is why I stated in our previous series, in that lower final, banning the Hazard map 1 removes your capability of having this response further in the series, which is why Liquid are not going to ban a Hazard map 1. They're going to save it so that when GK go to a King's Row or a circuit, and inevitably the life of your backline is going to be protected, you then respond with the Hazard ban.
Well, last time Team Liquid played this and picked this, GK picked it, and then GK won it. They banned Kiriko first and the Hazard second, but like you said, Hazard off the table. Let's have a look. It's going to be the same thing. Okay, so GK once again banning that Kiri. Team Liquid banning Hazard. So 2 Hazard bans, which means it can't be banned. Oh, sorry. Lucio Freya in the first one. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking a different game. Different series. Because you were talking about banning Hazard so much. But anyway, GK banning the same thing. Same strat here. Going to King's Row, banning Kiri, and then a Hazard ban for TL. Yeah, so no bait, no Hanzo ban here, but it might get pulled out again. Tree's been looking honestly on fire with it.
I think it will be, yeah, and part of the reason is because, as you sort of mentioned there, Dragon Strike does have that interaction that can destroy deployables, which is going to be very useful into both Lamp and also the Trigger Life. So I don't know if that's like the actual counter. This is a good map for the Hanzo anyway, so even if you're not up against the map Life Weaver combo, this is still a reasonable Hanzo map that you may want to pull through. The Kiriko ban, as that we saw yesterday, now that we see today, does mean that there's a potential Lucio is going to be in play. GK wants to make sure that if they step away from this Beaver backline, they can also then play the Lucio, because both teams kind of want to play the Lucio here. Lucio being banned away causes some weird stuff to happen. We saw in that last series of Circuit Royale. Once Lucio is gone in this current meta, the backlines have to get a little bit creative.
Yeah, it's just an insurance policy, right? Just making sure you can just back down, like, hey, we can't play this backline, that's fine, we'll just pivot to something else. Here we go, map number 2, King's Row. Team Liquid off to a hot start. Community Preds being about 51% for Team Liquid, 49 for GK with the Kiriko ban. We're going to see some Hanzo, probably some Lifeweaver, Baptiste as well. I wonder what other regions are going to think of this if this kind of backline just continues through to the mid-season. I'm curious how people end up in different regions kind of responding to it.
Well, in my opinion, Ball is one of the counters. Ball, Sombra, heavy dive, shutting down that backline, able to access them because the Lifeweaver Bap can just get onto these high ground, super annoying to find that they can bail each other out, but Hacks will interrupt that. Ball's ability to chase is extremely huge, so once you go up internationally against strong dive teams, T1, Crazy Raccoon, especially when Jumbin is there, Dongak is there, the two best ball players in the world, could be a struggle to run the Beaver backline, but right now, unless Infected, not this map, you wouldn't want to see the Ball on this map, but Infected is probably the one player in NA that has the best capability of kind of replicating what some of the Korean teams will be able to do against you. However, the reason why you're not going to see Beaver on every single map is for that reason, which is why we save it for circuits, we save it for Kings Row.
Zera on Mei. Tree on Hanzo. Defense, Vega on the Alari. Okay, now this is a comp, and yeah, GK even on the offense. They're going to go with Admiral on the Lifeweaver again, and this BAP has been so deadly. Ultraviolet is just a menace with it. But I mean, speaking of menaces, Tree in this high ground here, they got it. Yeah, okay. All right, well, logged.
Yep.
You've got to deal with him. You have to somehow dislodge Tree. Cut him down.
You have no dive here. You have no real easy access to high ground. Make sure you got pedal, but that's not what we're really talking about because you don't have the Hazard. This is why Hazard would be so good in the situation, which is why it's a perfect ban. On the backline, though, my Moan, first pickup here will be so useful.
Can't get Vega. Like, this is so difficult because Tree can just 180 and then tag My Moan, and My Moan, you're going to be fearful of getting logged by the Hanzo. Even a body shot and then a headshot from the Alari. Lethal's the one to take down Vega in the choke point. A nice little headshot there on the Storm Arrows from Tree, but doesn't initially get a kill. Now Lethal in a little bit of trouble, but actually, no, call an ambulance, but not for me. Zera gets headshot. That railgun from Lethal, not fully charged, but it will do.
Ooh. Storm Arrows, though, still looking good. You won't win the point off this one. Tree is eventually going to go down. You would imagine he's going to healed up right now and actually safe. I lied. He's up. GK can't get him down.
Just refuses to die, and Vega's going to come back on the Lucio to rejoin the rest of the team ASAP. Pulse bomb in the hands of My Moan, looking for somebody. Recalls pretty early. Misses the pulse bomb. Tree almost logs him in this head, and actually My Moan taking a body shot there. A tick in a little bit here for GK, at least for now, but dislodging Infected is going to be so difficult. And the Blizzard, Dragon Strike, so much coming up soon.
Yeah, a lot on the GK side as well. Look at this. Annihilation. OC, we've really seen Lethal pop off. That's the opportunity. Big damage potentially coming through now.
They're going to try and make this fight cheap. There's the Tree on the point. It's going to be so hard to actually get on here now if you're Team Liquid. Infected, dash into the back line. Terror surging. Ultraviolet's found himself in a 1v1. Make that a 1v2, but on the point, the Blizzard is going to help secure the kill onto cover, denying him the use of that Annihilation.
Oh, Tree again.
Logged again as Tree dominates on the Hanzo on the defense.
It's just disgusting. He hasn't died. Has he died yet? I don't think he's died yet. And now the late death onto Admiral. You've got to appreciate the fact that the Zera May has found value here as well. Blizzard on point to essentially counteract the Tree. Yeah, you want to get some Tree healing, too bad. You're going to get frozen up instead. And then the wall to block out line of sight once the OC comes through. Really brutal stuff. Lethal going to swap over to the cast out to try and put some more pressure onto Infected's Orisa. Vega, by the way, had a couple flights now, but he swapped onto Lucio. Already has a beat to play through.
He's just an absolute monster, man. Yeah, okay, Ravenous Vortex is going to help for sure. He's got the backup of RuPaul in that window as these logs are going to hurt even more if RuPaul uses the ult. Lethal is going to have a good firing line here onto the point, but now this window it's a danger zone.
Remember
for GK to step on the point. Sound barrier from Vega, yep. There's an Annihilation on the point for cover. It's going to tick for quite a considerable amount of time, considering Infected's there trying to hold down the fort. 2 ticks on board now for Geekay, and eventually taken out. And Tree at the very end here, unable to pick up the kills, but they made it hurt. GK just narrowly getting that point with 3-minute time back in the left.
That's his first death. That was the first time Tree actually goes down here, so
it's gone on the roll.
What he's able to do. Staying alive for so long. Dragon Strike ready to go. It just comes down to Annihilation, pushing on in, lasting forever, like you say, with Infected there receiving all of it. And now, potentially blocking Kuffer up, but not enough damage for it to kill him.
Yeah, this shield, so it's pretty chill. All good. Obviously, the BAP's very good into that as well. You just kind of jump over if you really need to. High Noon through the window. Dragon Strike in response. Okay, that's one way to send a message.
One of the counters to window, obviously hard to play through the window when the Dragon Strike is there, but also at the same time, Liquid just disengaged. Did I not finding value either from Lethal?
Tree on the point. Uh-oh. Hard to fight into. Tree is taking down this lamp as well. He's just hunting for Ultraviolet right now. Kind of king of the castle on this high ground. In fact, Ultraviolet is on the wrong side of the fight. Terror Surge. Oh, gripped away. Oh, what a grip. Admiral not only saves Cuffer from the Terror Surge, but saves him from the Blizzard as well. Lethal finds the kill onto RuPaul, and it's all falling apart for Team Liquid on the streets phase. Vega dead. Team Liquid's backline just washed down the drain as a minute and 30 remain.
But the Blizzard is a little bit misplaced as well, placed in front of the payload, and Tree of Life holding strong. Payload didn't move though, which is a bit of an issue. Tree's gonna swap off the Hanzo. He'll probably go back actually. There might just be a TP to help his teammates move forward as Team Liquid now wanting to go for this retake. And is he gonna touch in time? Barely, 0.57 meters.
Need to kill the shield though. Infective's going down. Lamp is gonna save him. Pulse bomb for Mimone.
Ready for bait.
Staring straight at Zera. Wants some backup. Sends Lethal in to try and deal with the Tracer. Sound barrier for Vega now available, but RuPaul is already dead. Are they going to commit? Yes, they are. 4-man sound barrier as Vega dashes to the backline on the Lucio, but his overhealth isn't going to last for too much longer as the positioning right now for Geekay is just too good. But Zera, I mean, that's got to be a close or High Noon. Jax pops it, instantly dies to Mimone. Annihilation on the point for Cuffer. Should be the final nail in the coffin. Point 2 secured.
They're still trying to stay alive with the Deadeye, but it's Cuffer with the Annihilation once more. Now that the beat is gone, Vega dropped it in 4-man. Trying to get that recontest in, despite being one down. Lethal swapping over to the Freya for some long-range damage. Vega onto the Zen. We do see this sometimes. We go backs against the wall on the C point. Lack of capability to get flanked. The Zen can be pretty safe. See if the healing is going to be enough. Certainly the damage is what we're looking for out of Vega, though.
A small perk pickup as well, worth pointing out with Tree. He's taking the perk where if you use a Sonic near a health pack, it does get hacked for a brief moment in time. So can really help out Zera on the sidelines with this Mega. So Mimone's gonna have a tough job kind of dealing with it. Although Vega's dead too, Lethal. One of the easiest people to take out in that Zen, but Tree delivers him a log to the head. Here comes a Tree being deployed by Avril.
So far back, they're gonna push up beyond their Tree in short moments here.
Dragon Strike used, and yeah, that Tree isn't gonna survive too long. Look at that. Ends up expiring at the end of the day, and now RuPaul on the high ground with the window deploys the lamp for himself, and it's just an overwhelming amount of damage. A barrage of arrows blotting out the sun as Geekay try to approach this final corner, and they're unable to do so. 50 seconds to go as Vega at the very end comes alive with a couple of kills, and maybe even Tree changing now.
Just thinking about it. Lethal's still on the Freya, obviously. What are we going to see in response? Another Freya, the long-range consistency required here a little bit. I did enjoy having a Tree and RuPaul high ground set up, that little fortress with a window that they can play through. Very hard for Geekay to break. It would require Lethal to find those shots like he did onto Vega to do. Now the long-range Freya battles will start to begin, but we're looking towards Annihilation. Vega does not have a Transcendence yet.
Oh, spotted Vega. Discord Orbital Warhack now for the Zen. Bowler shot available too. Everybody kind of trapped in that small corner. That Ravenous Vortex bringing everybody together. Really slowing them down. Bowler shot. Oh, goes wide. Actually almost clips Zera there, which would have been pretty disastrous for the Tracer. Infective receives a lamp in the front line. Now his overtime is here. Nice little reflect onto Vega and Cuffer with this Annihilation. Has to deal with this window. RuPaul has to dash back though. These take aim shots are connecting, but a couple of bullets onto Mimone will end the Genji's life, but Lethal pops his little head up and takes down RuPaul.
So opportunity here. Annihilation can be a massive ultimate for this final fight. Vega is about to have his ultimate as well. Admiral coming back from spawn. Big kills. Lethal onto Tree.
This Adamantium backline is just staying alive, but eventually Zera takes him down. Lethal there with a follow-up as the payload 3x for GK, they've got a tree, they've got Annihilation, they have the tools to win this. A tree deployed on the point, Transcendence coming through for Vega to get the final touch, but it's going to run out in a couple of seconds, and he's going to be pretty dead. Although saying that, the Lamb comes out in the end. Terror Surge does end up connecting with it eventually. Vega is brought down, and this Annihilation, it's just too much sustained damage for RuPaul to heal up the rest of his squad. It's going to be an overtime finish for GK at the very most. But Team Liquid, they made a good go of it. And an overtime finish is a real nice one on King's Row. We know how long these can get. And if Team Liquid finish with over a minute, they're going to be in good stead to pick up another map. But what a push there from GK, surviving against the Hanzo at the very end.
Just brutal overtime respawn times there for Team Liquid. Waiting for players to get in. Vega forced to trans just to go for the touch, which means no Transcendence for the actual fight itself. And then afterwards, Annihilation can find its value. A Terror Surge coming through from Infected to at least get the 1 kill, but not enough damage to follow through to get anything else done there. Team Liquid just, again, overtime is where they're going to get capped out in, which when we refer back to yesterday's upper bracket final game, GK capped out King's Row in OT. So a little bit of history repeating itself here. And as a reminder, GK also did win this map as well.
Look at the deaths on Cuffer and Mymone, only 2 each. Pretty low, considering how much, or at least visual impact Tree was having. Very lower limbs on the side of Team Liquid, but let's get a quick listening for Liquid. Is their attack? Tree's, he's locked the Hanzo again, and Vega on the Zen. We'll see if this rolls in as the gates open.
Yeah. We need it. Just call who we need to clear first for you guys, and we'll help clear. Ramp's probably gonna be statue. You can clear Ramp.
You could also go on a Vega.
You don't know.
What?
Yeah. You got Mercy too. I mean, if we want to fucking lose.
Mercy would actually be good. Mercy Freya.
I don't see the rest. It's only my Tracy's. My back is trade. They're trading right. Trading right top.
Ram statue.
Clear Ryan, then I'll block him.
Yeah, I'm clearing right.
Alright, I can push Ram. You guys ready? No shield.
I'm the shield.
Yeah.
Carry one.
No nam. Wait out.
I'm walking top right. Walking top right.
Turn rear.
3, 2, 1. Walking Ram.
Take top. Take top.
3, 2, 1.
You're top right.
Back on going through left. Fair.
Float.
I can touch.
I'm hard to peek. You're top right. I'm hard to peek.
Ram holding corner. Stop and trade left. Stop trade left. They're going behind.
I'm locked right.
I'm taking top. Place
Yeah, run that form.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Carry one. I can hit
behind them. They're in bottom left. Arm in.
Yeah.
Pick top right.
I'm pushing.
Take top right.
Yeah, I have top.
I'll flip. Come on.
Yeah, I'm healing you. Block left.
Shoot him.
Really need pocket.
Yeah, I'm blocking monster.
Get around.
River.
I'm taking more enemy though.
Run the form. You can push after. I'm going right.
Very well. I want to see Trey. You're on top left.
Yeah.
Turn main drop.
Liquid just flipping the map right now on GK. Infected is so low. There's a lamp available from RuPaul, leaving the window too, so that's going to supplement the healing. Lethal feeling pretty bad on the low ground, although Spot's Tree actually just clambered down to his level. As if getting gripped away from Infected, who was trying to make a beeline to the back line. Ultraviolet and Vega do end up trading as Lethal goes extremely low, slides away up the staircase to get that miniature health back. But Team Liquid still, reinforcements are going to come in just a moment, but they've lost their positioning.
And a late death on Lethal as well. UV is still making his way back from spawn. This is going to be a limited 3v5 for a time being. Mymone has to be careful of his own HP bar as Team Liquid survive that one. Very low HP members, getting slowly whittled away by Mymone. Go for the touch now.
Oh, the tree on the point. Yeah, Vega ends up going down. This is not looking good for Team Liquid right now. Geekay managed to push RuPaul off of that high ground, a full wrap around to get rid of the BAP, who is in a priority in a dominant position. Oh, what a shot by Tree! That flick was insane. Mymone looking like he wanted to go for a pulse, but wants the Hanzo, but Tree denies him straight up. And a little headshot there with the Storm Arrow. Now he's in trouble though. As the Annihilation was meant just for him. It was postmarked just for Tree. That should be enough ults for GK to win this fight.
It's a lot. It's 3 ultimates at the end of the day. 3 alive to start things out, and then Annihilation plus OC to finish the fight with 130 left to go. Team Liquid, as a reminder, yesterday barely capped A with any time, kept B and OT, and didn't have enough time to finish the map, which is why they lost King's Row. You have so many ults on board for Team Liquid, though. You have to imagine this should be enough.
It should be, but is it? Terror Surge available. You've got Dragon Strike, Beat, Window, 4 ults on the board. Window's going to get used by Ultraviolet. They are going first. They are just playing quicker than Team Liquid right now. RuPaul finds one. Nice little grip there. Saves Lethal, but still ends up going down as Zera is in hot pursuit. And look at that. They get taxiing RuPaul around the map. 50 seconds to go. Infected finds a double. The Dragon Strike will be it. Okay, Team Liquid. Again, kind of reminiscent of how Geekay ended up doing on their attack. Very close, scrappy fight at the very end as Liquid get the payload going.
They get to save 2 ultimates here as well, but that got really tight for Team Liquid. Tree going down early. The reason why that's so impactful is not just because it's Tree on Hanzo, but more importantly... Okay, let's take a look at this shot. And boom, done. It's important because UV drops in the window, and one of the best ways you beat the window, as previously discussed, is you Dragon Strike the window, which then gives RuPaul a better angle to work through. Infected is not able to get close enough to sort of break past the window and Terror Surge, but he still wins the day. Infected and Zero combined took down that backline eventually. Allows him to cap.
Zera forced to recall pretty early, but so is my moan. So both Tracers playing on a knife's edge in the streets. Zera still wants a little chunk of my moan though. Does need some help. That support, that's a general like healing passive kicks in a little bit slower now. So, oh, what? Okay, Lethal did not even see Zera. Saw the pulse bomb. Zera blinked in, blinked out, got a kill onto Lethal. Ends up going down though, so 1-for-1 trade, and here's the tree. The emergency tree for Geekay. Terror Surge on top of it, however, and that instant damage. Oh, dearie me. That backline's looking adamantium, but when they're all brought together in a group hug, it is easy pickings for Team Liquid.
Tree life gain over time is going to be there, but not quickly enough to stop Infected. A quick Terror Surge, by the way. Lamp broken fast by the rest of Liquid means that Terror Surge value is going to be massive. As Infected will swap over towards the Ram now. Action Cuffet. RuPaul next up on ultimate. Tree ready to go as well. The timing is going to be super important here. They're both out-timing Ultraviolet.
Lethal could maybe step up here, but they need to clear this high ground, and that's going to be really hard against the BAP and the Hanzo. Maybe my moan can be that difference. He's fouled. Oh, the flick's good, but the lamp is better. Saving Tree's life. That annihilation isn't going to affect them up on this high ground. Cuffer's trying to jump and actually try and punch them in the sky, but now he's below them. That annihilation looks so sad from Cuffer. He's now cowering in a corner, and this Dragon Strike will probably be the end of him as well. A window deployed in the choke point, but no one can make good use of it now as the Dragon Strike is going to separate Geekay from it. Ultraviolet might be on the high ground, but the rest of his comrades 10 feet under as Team Liquid cap the second point.
You can see that with Lethal going to Freya. He already knows we're going to see B is likely over. Also, don't need to cast anymore into the Ram considering there's no Orisa on board for Team Liquid. Tree's going to respond. Same battle that we saw last time. Good news for Team Liquid today compared to yesterday's King's Rose. They have 30 extra seconds. Yesterday, only the 130 capping B and OT. Small, tiny bit extra room for error. Speaking of error, Zera's not going to get that stick.
Almost. Everybody was kind of jumping around. Everybody was a little bit taller than he was. All right, Mimone making a TP play into the back line. It's going to be hard for Infected to stay alive now. This sim is just so easy to charge up. Mimone, we spoke about it earlier. Just being able to jump onto this pocket pick and a full right click owns Vega. Ultraviolet gets the last final tap there onto the Lucio. Infected ends up going down as well as Team Liquid are routed.
I'll tell you what, GK, you mentioned this one. They struggled to find any high ground capability in terms of shutting down Team Liquid. Tree might not be on Hanzo anymore, but high ground is kind of what won Team Liquid that B fight. My Mo says, I can just go symmetrical. We can flip the map. You want to take that high ground? I can TP there as well. While the full charge right click into Vega's face. And the last minute, Team Liquid have still a decent amount of distance, but they have a lot of ultimates.
Everybody is so split. Four-man sound barrier there for Team Liquid to keep them in the fight. A Nemesis form and then the Annihilation full cover on the point as Infected just rolls over Ultraviolet and Abral. My Moan went for a TP play into the backline, split the team up, and then Infected kind of ate them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Look at this though, 30 seconds remaining. So, final couple of delays, my Moan and Cuffer. Look at the correct respawn together. Importantly, GK, they know they lost the fight. Save your ultimates, but what did they get out of it? Infected, RuPaul, and Vega. All three big Team Liquid ults got. We're not expecting too much out of the bowler shot. Doesn't do enough damage. Needs a bit of setup here for GK. One final fight, and they have so much to do.
TPP, a bowler shot onto the high ground, but they still need to touch. RuPaul does end up going down as Tree switches points. Just basically it's playing in the spawn right now of GK, but this wall is just too strong. It's just too powerful. GK's defense looking infallible with this sim. The high ground was a problem, but not when you got a TP, as Team Liquid end up falling over on King's Row as GK tie the series.
No deferred bans, no Malga today in this grand final for GK. Straight away onto one of their strong maps of King's Row, where they won yesterday. They will win again in the same fashion as well, mind you. Another 3-2, they complete the map in OT, and they're just shy of capping in their own overtime. Team Liquid will falter, and as I sort of mentioned there in the last fight, because there was enough time to reset, they baited all these large ultimates out of Team Liquid, and they banked their own huge ultimates. And that giant ult advantage with the wall as the cherry on top, you can't break through that.
Yeah, that wall, it is just to decide it in like most fights. If the enemy also doesn't have like a sim, like good luck. Obviously, we see it in EU a ton with the sim. And the sim walls, we wall as well. We wall in a different direction, or maybe the same direction, where we also can't really get damaged, and it's a bit of a stalemate in the fight. But when there's only one sim, you can't deal with that. And then both Aperol and UV had ults as well. Like you said, that ult stacking really paid off. Trees Hanzo looked extremely good, especially on that first and second. This flick was also nasty. But history is kind of repeating itself, Aperol. A little bit out of order, as King's Row was the third map in their series in the upper finals. But GK won that one, and Team Liquid won the control as a 2-0. Like, after GK won this, Team Liquid's response was going to Runasapi, banning the Ram, and then a Cassidy ban for GK. So, do you think we're going to see that again?
Runasapi coming up. I mean, we have Circuit here as well, but I think that would be GK's pick if they go to it. So for Team Liquid, they did win Runasapi 123-91. Getting rid of the Ram would put us back into Orisa contention. See if that's better for Infected. Looking through though here, I mean, how badly do you just want to deny the Circuit early on in the series by going to a different S squad? I mean, I don't think Watching Gibraltar is that popular in NA. But yeah, it would be a bit of a wrench in the works. So we already saw the Ilios come through. Ilios, which has been so rare in NA. I mean, I just looked throughout the history. Liquid themselves haven't played it for the last 5 controls. And even in this playoffs, we had 5 Oasises, 1 Ilios, 1 Busan. So basically what I'm saying is Liquid have already kind of like thrown a wrench in to try and change up the map pool a little bit. Denying a Circuit early on could be a good play if they just want to go to a different A squad, but no. They could just go to the Circuit, but this is what we saw from Nightmare as well. So what we can say here is they can take GK to Circuit, but on their terms when they get the first ban.
GK as well, by the way, is still undefeated on Hybrid. Just saying. 100% win rate, coming in strong. Preferred map type. All right, Liquid go to Circuit. Yeah, how do we see the bans here? Because you know the Lifeweaver's coming, man. You know the Lifeweaver BAP. It's gonna come in. It's happened over and over again. The small substitution too. It's exactly what we saw yesterday on Circuit. Knife is in, Zera is out. This May from Team Liquid yesterday, just dominant. We don't see Knife in too often. Normally Zera's in, playing the Tracer, but when Knife comes in, dude was like handed in the backline on his own. Was finding unbelievable and like game-winning picks just on the May, hitting the right clicks. Killed the backline in one, got a 3K, and then basically won the map for them.
The 3K was literally the clutch. They lost the fight, and then just off the back of that 3K from Knife, Liquid were able to recover from that losing situation and essentially just like kept that time down on B. In terms of where we may see some of the bans go here, both BAP and Lifeweaver available to ban. And I think at this stage, unless you are really keen to play into it, which I don't think you should be if you are Team Liquid, get rid of one of them. But
yeah, they're going to ban
BAP means that you, obviously keeping the BAP on allows you to still play the BAP. So it's like the Lucio situation where it's like, you know, ban the Kiriko and King's Row instead because you still want the capability to play your own Lucio. You don't want to be kneecapping yourself, which is Team Liquid's strategy here. Get rid of the Lifeweaver, make sure BAP's in play. We're going to be playing Lucio plus BAP. May's going to be out of the picture, which was really strong from Knife. Knife is going to end up moving towards some other potential options. I wonder if Knife's been cooking a sim in the background. Quite good on this map. If not, we know Venture has decent value here. Knife can actually play decent Venture. Some people haven't seen it yet because he just hasn't had the chance to bring Venture out. Otherwise, Genji, always pretty solid. I do wonder if any team may even consider double long-range hit scans here. This is more of like a Virtus Pro kind of thing, but a Freya and a Sojourn together is a possibility. But might end up just being the Genjis, honestly.
We've seen sprinklings of the Freya and the Soj if a team is kind of capable of that. But yeah, it feels like more of a Genji type angle. Yeah, Team Liquid, I mean, ban a Lifeweaver makes sense. GK ban in May, yeah, no more Ice Queen. I'm not surprised. Like, the way Knife was playing yesterday, they just couldn't stop him. It was just so, like, if a May player is, like, turning around fights like that, where just boom, boom, killing the backline in a couple of hits, like, from long range, like, okay, like, sure. Our tank is then going to have the worst time in the history of Overwatch. That freeze perk as well, by the way, which is insane, just freezing the tanks like it's old May. Oh. It feels bad. So yeah, no shock there. I would love to see Venture though. I think this map, yeah, like you said, pretty decent for it.
I think later on, particularly on C, is where, in my opinion, the Venture shines a lot. Just the high ground, low ground plays. You can burrow from all the way on high ground and come from some very unique angles. Just across the board, we saw, I think my Moan was one that actually brought out the Venture early on and capable of off angling around that statue area. The good question is this going to be a Ram battle or is it going to be an Orisa battle? And it's looking Ram. Infector's locked it in. Infector was probably going to be more likely to go Orisa if we were going to see an Orisa. But as I sort of mentioned here, has Knife been cooking up a Symmetra? The answer is yes. However, I will note that this is what my Moan wants. He wants Knife's Symmetra to come through so that he can get more value on the Venture.
Yeah, Geekay, I'm hoping they lock this Venture. Knife might have a bit of a tough time, but getting through that backline is always tough for Team Liquid. We'll see how GK are going to manage that with a quick listening.
No, they're on Ram. We played normal.
Okay. I think Venture's so good though when they're on Sim. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, but I'm.
Yeah, let's clear.
You can like slow for our Venture.
No slow already. I want to walk on Ram really fast. No slow.
Yeah,
it's really low.
Two speed.
Listen, you break TP.
I'm walking. Okay, thanks. I'm swinging for now. Break the TP. Squeeze down. Touch your Ram. Ram has to drop.
I'm taking left side. 3, 2, 1.
Take TP back flip.
Yeah, I'm taking left for now.
I have TP right now, by the way. Sure.
It's too far.
Can dig again in 5. Just chill for now.
That is your play. I want to keep
Very weak, yeah. Very weak. Very so weak.
Sim
moving car for now.
Pushing card fast.
I will dig on the statue soon, okay?
Yeah.
And then we
I'm hard walking with me to go.
Okay, digging statue. 3, 2, 1.
I saw their exit.
Some of me. ATP out.
Sure, Ram. Kill the 10 now.
Yeah, we're fine. I have roll.
Make him.
I'm half Ram trolling.
I can dig again in 3.
Yeah.
They have no pull. Can we hard push it?
3, 2,
1. Walk.
I saw
All of me. Oh,
I've left it, yo.
make him.
Ram. Ram trolling, kill it. Ram inside, Ram.
Back one in the back. No. Someone.
Nice. Dennis, let's go.
No.
Beautiful stuff there from MyMoan and Lethal. MyMoan forcing that TP from Knife, just getting off of a nice position. And then Lethal forcing the lamp out of RuPaul. So RuPaul didn't have that resource to save Infected in that fight.
You heard the comms there as well from MyMoan saying, I'm going to dig in, go straight for statue, timing the digs, wanting the team to follow through, especially that secondary dig, and then allowing Lethal to find angles, double shots to open up that point for the cap. And what a time for Lethal to come alive in the series as well. In the day, here comes Window.
Okay, good window angle as well. So GK, yep. Oh, I mean, that was BM. Good shot there from Tree. Take aim, straight into the bolts. Insta-kill onto the Venture.
The Sniper staying on the sim as well. This is where previously Knife swapped over to the May, so the ban will prevent that from coming through. MyMoan, so we can continue getting more value on this Venture. Look towards the OC now. A little bit struggling is going to be the fact that if the OC Symmetra Wall comes on through to counter you, and then suddenly things get a little bit tricky.
Ooh, Captive Sun. Nice connection there onto Ultraviolet. However, an easy sound barrier for Admiral. Annihilation. That wall isn't really going to be too much of a hindrance now to GK. Infected last alive on the point. Yeah, it's not great when Cuppa can just basically shield dance that entire time and get the full use of that annihilation. A whole big ult dump there for GK, but they get it popping. And, well, it wasn't exactly cheap for Team Liquid either.
It's an entire ult bank use, and as mentioned, the OC is not going to get much done versus the wall, but tell you what, Tonic Shock, my Moan can reposition quite easy. Couple was walked through on the annihilation. Now it's Infected's turn. Gotta get something done on his own annihilation. TP in straight to the back line.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Lamp's already down, but that window is going to be easy to play around if you're GK. Annihilation still ticking. My Moan taking a little bit of that damage, forcing everybody into a small corner, but that's kind of exactly where RuPaul wants you to be. Everybody grouped up. A lot of AoE healing coming through for the BAP. Oh, what a headshot from 3 as well. Takes Lethal out of the sky. This Team Liquid still in control, although they lose RuPaul.
Working out well for Team Liquid. Pushing GK back. Pulse connecting from Tree. Finish off onto the fight as 240 is still plenty for GK to work through, but as we sort of mentioned, a large amount of ultimate spent in a previous fight just leaves them wanting now. A little bit of a slow recharge phase. Team Liquid still have more to potentially use coming up.
Knife is 1. Where are the heals?
You see her now.
My knife. My poor knife. Oh! Nice from Lethal there. My God. Snipes Tree. Tree thought he had the upper hand there with the bowler shot. Absolutely not. Lethal still sharpshooter as GK cap that point. Not looking exactly like the series yesterday. Avril here. Knife now on the Venture.
I mean, Vegas just couldn't get the beat in time as well. Unfortunately, Team Liquid couldn't hold on, but what a shot coming through from Lethal. One against Revenge because get double bolted by Tree in the previous fight. And yeah, the no May here is a problem. And as I sort of mentioned, Knife also has a Venture in the pocket, so I get a Venture mirror now. Bit of a rarity for NA, but two of the teams that we have here that can play it well.
That was a high value ability there. Well, here's the beat. It's
But Cuffer didn't get beat.
Cuffer, wrong place, wrong time, no sound barrier. Avril LOSing his tank, and that's going to be disastrous as my Moan just takes over this fight. Durodash killing 2 people. For 3 minutes, Team Liquid, tail between their legs, scurrying away. This window swing might be deadly too.
They can't push because my Moan went down and still waiting for Cuffer as well. That's a really brutal way to lose Cuffer, given that he has Annihilation coming up. If Cuffer survives that fight, he annihilates forward. It's Lethal's turn.
Oh dear, Tree, get out of there. Nice little dash forward. Oh, missed the headshot though. RuPaul deploys the lamp. Lethal, okay. A little bit uncharacteristic there. Oh, though, saying that straight through the window. See you later. Window is still a little bit awkward, but Infected is dead. Lethal. Still being pushed. 2 minutes in the time bank. Someone's got to touch. Triple bank for Tree. RuPaul does end up going down, so healing resources cut to a minimum now. And this annihilation is gonna hurt. Infected's also gonna rip his own and could just fold his arms for the time being. I can imagine a Kiriko swap here for Liquid to just TP through the wall. But the focus fire from GK brings down the beast. And there's the cap. 3 points on the board with time to spare.
You might have been right there. The Kiriko swap from RuPaul probably required to go in and Suzu, but you give up your window, and he is praying that there's a situation where Infected can stay alive for a moment longer, throw the lamp in there, play through the window, maybe clutch it up for a couple more moments for the rest of Liquid to float on in for a final defense. When you see that one really break down, it's double supports dead for Liquid. GK still have theirs available, and Annihilation battle is only going to go in one direction. Once that happens, GK looking strong on their Circuit Royale, given that it wasn't even their map choice, but it's one of their strong maps. Liquid, they wanted to opt into a GK power map. On their terms, they banned the Life Weaver, but the response ban from the May is just delivering so much for GK here.
Whole lot of value. Imagine Knife probably does the same thing here. Runs out on the sim. We'll see if there's going to be a Venture swap in the near future, but my Moan kind of, again,
Knife should just do the same thing as my Moan did. Sees the Symmetra on the defense, swaps to Venture.
Very easy switch as well. No kind of faffing around. All right, let's see if GK can hold on to his defense. Now Lethal on the Cassidy. No Freya here. Has been opting a lot of the time. Ash, Cassidy, any kind of like raw hit scan, Sojourn, etc.
It does prevent Infected from playing the Orisa. You can see Orisa would like to be the choice for Infected, but once he spots Lethal, he might swap. See if that happens. That's a catch. Holy, what a card. He needed the TP out, but it didn't save him. That is gigantic.
Needed that lamp. Where'd he go?
He got speared and bursted. Didn't even have time to fold his arms and get the 50% reduction. That is a huge error from GK.
Oh my, and now you can take such a nice spot here. As Infected, you can hold this corner super far up, like... Damn, Cuffer.
And by the way, if I remember correctly, we've seen GK many times, Cuffer's low already, play through that right side angle from defensive POV. And Team Liquid, man, the coaching documents, that was certainly in there. Flick through it.
Oh, how is RuPaul alive? Bro went through there solo and still survived somehow. All right, Cuffer. You're in this small room. You're against a sim, though, which is a big problem. Cuffer's going to get bursted again. A nice little sextuple fan the hammer from Tree.
Actually, a cap.
It might be. Admiral and Lethal do get one, but yeah, Payload Princess Infected is keeping them in this. That's Cuffer, bro. Like, that's the second time in a row. Just gets blown up.
That first death on that corner right out of spawn is important enough that it genuinely may cost the map, which sounds extreme coming from me in the sense that obviously we just started it. What do you mean one death at the start will cost you? It means that you lose all capability to hold A the way you like. Look at the time back now. This should have been a much slower A push and an A cap from Team Liquid, but instead they're gonna push cap A, hold all ultimates, now snowball B.
Crazy window on the high ground, and Ultraviolet's already dead. Nice wrap around from Team Liquid, and this is a cheap fight. I'm talking like bargain hunters cheap. Look at this. One ultimate. They got 4 running into next.
This is the thing that people watching need to understand as well. I think in normal Overwatch games where it's going to get a bit more chaotic, those types of kills happen. It's whatever. At the highest level, we're in the grand finals for North American OWCS here. That one death snowballs everything for Team Liquid, and GK have still not stabilized.
Spear Spin's going to stop a lot of that damage, and that wall definitely will. High Noon, Tree slowly stepping forward. TP's into the back. High Noon connects to Lethal, and an extra bullet finishes him off. Team Liquid. This is a different pace than we've seen from them previously. GK, they've used the Annihilation, but it's not enough. My Moan's going to have to burrow out of there. Cuffer down. Afro, no sound barrier. Like, GK, they still got one ultimate, but this is Liquid cap at this point.
I mean,
look at this time back as well. It's going to be monstrous.
These are the first ultimates from GK. That's the other problem. They're the first ultimate. This is still the first sound barrier. We're on C, 5 minutes of time bank. I mean, look what they surely have got this done and dusted. And that's not over because GK full capped the map with 143. But you have to imagine Team Liquid's time bank is about to be disgusting. If they can maintain momentum and not make mistakes.
Oh, okay. Aggro beats. Nice boop there from Admiral as well. Okay. A semblance of control now for GK as they expend their last ult.
First recovery, first fight win, first sound barrier used. GK finally slow things down. Now the goal, how much time can we bleed down? You want to try and get this down to 140 on the other side as well? Have a comparable time back. If you get it down to even 2 minutes, you'll consider that a win for GK.
Nice TP. Oh, the Terror Surge.
TP out of that one.
Kind of awkward. Admiral was behind that wall too. Did get like dragged in a little bit, but he was chilling. That was yeah, not great from Infected.
By the way, I think it's a great idea for GK to go for the spawn camp. First of all, it's low risk because you have your own TP to match Knife. If Team Liquid want to get aggressive and TP out of this one, you TP to match them. The spawn camp
is very hard to destroy as well.
It's one of the best ways to bleed down the timer.
TP out, like you said. Window, extremely aggro from UV, but still, doesn't matter. Nice little high noon there from Lethal through the window, insta-killing RuPaul. Okay, they're burning down that clock. It was about a 5-minute time back, now at 3:30.
This is where GK are slowly but surely making up for the errors on A, which then resulted on a snowball for B. TP set up once again. Cuffer now on Annihilation. Remember, for GK bring this down to 2 minutes for Team Liquid, you'll consider that a good defense for GK and a real stabilization. Have a reasonably matched time bank scenario. Team Liquid is struggling to actually break out of spawn still, though.
Knife and Infected a perma 1 HP. Wow, and okay, Lethal just finds an off angle, finds the line, and kills Knife. And Infected is also going to die. Yep. Nice DP away as Lethal. Yeah, he's playing Portal right now. He's not playing Overwatch. Tree does kill 2.
Actually.
Okay, somehow Tree kills the backline.
That's massive. That actually now will disrupt the spawn camp. You cannot spawn camp anymore. Geekay have to back out. So this is where Team Liquid, for the first time in almost 2 minutes now, will be able to break out a spawn. And as we reach towards the end, Geekay will have disrupted his time back enough that it is possible that Team Liquid will not match the 143, which is the goal for Geekay here in the recovery game.
Double wall, have fun. Yeah, I was going to say, have fun trying to work that one out, Tree, with that high noon. It's all good, though. Lethal, professor in mathematics there, solving those equations around those walls. Annihilation is going to rip and tear now through Team Liquid's front line. And they're looking good. Okay, time bank, like you said, diminished.
And now you're really at risk. Team Liquid, by the way, they walked in with 5 minutes of a time bank, which is so much, but a singular fast fight. Admiral popping his first sound barrier, coming through from the outside, and then multiple spawn camp wins in a row. Liquid now struggling.
Beat High Noon, beat in response. Vegas still super low, and they're using this to get out of spawn. They're using a window of beat to get out of spawn right now. Geekay more than happy with that. Annihilation's going to get popped from Infected, kind of dancing around this window right now, but Lethal has found his mark. Infected dead, time bank slipping through the fingers of Team Liquid. This is not looking pretty.
Now we have to change the conversation. The conversation originally was, how good of a time bank are we expecting from Team Liquid, to then saying Geekay needing to just stabilize, draw down that timer, and the conversation will end with, can Team Liquid now finish the map? This will be a disaster for Team Liquid, considering how much time they had going into this. 5 minutes, but they can't break out a spawn. The spawn camp, time and time again, absolutely brutal from Geekay.
Lamp there, thrown out to save Lethal. They trade again. My moan for Tree. Infected trying to carry space in that front line, trying to ignore Cover. Cover does manage to get out as well with that TP. I mean, look, they got to go for these kills. They need this high ground. They need to bully Geekay away. Lethal on height has 4% to a high noon, and it's a perfect eagle-eye view of the backline. A teleport is going to try and match him, and yep, okay, TP straight on him, and a nice little right click. And there it is. Okay, now Team Liquid can try and push. Can they finish this map, though, with 30 seconds?
Well, they got the ultimates. That's what they needed. Tree opening up the map for them once again. Team Liquid need a little bit more time to get RuPaul and Vega in there. Knife in my moan. We're going to have bisecting walls in just a short moment.
As both walls, TP to the high ground, high noon cancel, payload still moving with no sightline right now for Geekay to shoot Team Liquid. A later wall and an overtime one at bat as Knife explodes. A window from the flank from Geekay and 3 people sitting behind it. Sound barriers connect from both sides, but Knife being down is going to be a man disadvantage for Team Liquid as they're huddling in this room, trying to kill Lethal. A massive value lamp as well from Ultraviolet has just gone and done and saved him. A high ground window for RuPaul, but it's not enough. Overtime ticks down, and Geekay, a knife in the back with that May ban. They're going to take the second map in the series for them, bringing the scoreline to 2-1.
And preventing disaster as well. We were looking at a potential insane comeback victory, considering how difficult it was on that defensive side for Liquid. Eventually getting capped out. They found some success on their attack, though. Major punish onto Cuffer in the opening pick that snowballs you multiple fights in a row where you didn't even have to spend one ultimate on A. You got to then snowball B with your massive ultimate advantage. 5 minutes to cap C. But it was a single fight win coming through, 5-man beat, rushing down the side of Team Liquid, which, by the way, this is an important point. If even one member of Geekay goes down, you can't spawn camp. All 5 have to survive. You do not spawn camp with 4, has to be 5. So you have to get a perfect stabilization fight. Then suddenly your spawn camp winning for like 5-6 fights in a row. And also the decision to go back to the Sim for my moan, understanding that the way we successfully spawn camp is we have to play our TP strats. If they TP past us, we TP to match them. That's the only way you do it, and they played it perfectly.
A 5-minute time bank going into point 3, and Team Liquid unable to even cap. Insane stuff from Geekay, winning on a map where, hey, they banned the May. That was the biggest problem that yesterday as a Knife. His sim, it looked pretty decent, but it's nothing on Geekay right now. We're going to jump to the desk. They're going to break down what's happened so far and set us up for the next.
thank you so much. Yeah, it looks like GK did their homework in this one. They seem to have an answer to everything that Team Liquid was throwing their way, but it's still a back and forth series, right? It is 2-1. The score, first to 4, is what we're playing for here. Let's talk about how they got it done thus far. GK in the lead, 2-1. I feel like both DPS departments are the big win condition here. Looking at Tree and Lethal, how did they stack up thus far in the series, Rich?
I mean, it's been really back and forth because we saw an interesting take when it came from that first control map into the second, where we even got to see a little bit of the Pharah play, and then Tree coming out onto this Hanzo, which is very devastating. Something I've seen ever since we came back from Collegiate. It's one to not just, sit on, even though you don't get to see much of it, but then even the adjustment when it comes to now trying to face off with the Cass aspect of it. Lethal, though, here towards the end of this, as we were seeing consistently on this Cassidy, was just really starting to download everything needed to be able to just continue to punish this, as just me looking at independently the DPS, because there are a lot more factors in this composition that really make it work and enable it, but I'm just so hyper fixated on those two really seeing what their impact is over the course of this best of 7.
Yeah, I mean, the entire team just stepped up there when Liquid brought out some of these compositions, then GK responded, like Avril pointed out towards the end there. Maimon is setting up the rest of the team with these Symmetra teleporters, and that enables someone like Lethal to really pop off on that Cassidy. The spawn hold was, of course, fantastic there to force Liquid into a tough spot where they had to invest ultimates just to get out of spawn, right? So GK, I feel like they've really responded to all these answers that Liquid allegedly had for this series. Liquid, again, they couldn't win King's Row, even though Tree had an amazing Hanzo game. They couldn't quite close it out. So GK, they win King's Row against Tree's Hanzo, and now also they take down Liquid here on Circuit Royale with Knife playing the Symmetra. So it really does feel like GK are very much in control of the series.
Well, and real quick, just to touch on that too, about specifically with Circuit Royale, is we got to see the day before, we talked about passing off the bans or deferring that, and you get to see that Knife's going to come in and play on the Mei, and then they come in and then they ban the Mei when Knife is going to rotate in. So there's a lot of that intel that they kind of take and carry over from yesterday into today to see how they play against it. So it's all of that different type of methodology behind of it, and it's really starting to show how valuable that can be to learn that early.
Yeah, and honestly, just so much respect to the coaching staff, to the players, making big switches like that in your composition, in your approach, over just the turnaround of a night. That is not an easy thing to pull off. Sarah is coming back in for Knife, and as you saw just now on your screens, we will be heading to Runazapi. Obviously, Team Liquid selecting this map. Johnny, what do you want to see from them?
I mean, I think it makes total sense. It's how you closed out the series yesterday, so I think this is the most obvious pick ban of all time, really. It's exactly what Liquid wants to do. They want to take away the Ramatra so they can play the Orisa either in an Orisa mirror or play the Orisa into Kaffa's Hazard. And of course, you picked Runasapi yesterday and you found great success on it. So no real big surprise here. I think this was the obvious map pick from Team Liquid and the ban. I think the question is going to be, what do you do for the rest of this series? Do you have any additional answers for GK?
Well, we're about to find out. 2-1 the score for GK. 2 more maps, and they are crowned the champion of their respective region. Can they get it done? Let's find out as we're heading to Runazapi, and we're sending it back over to Jaws and Avro.
It's the same maps, Avril, but a different script with that Circuit Royale going GK's way. We're back on Runazapi. This was Team Liquid's win that closed out the series yesterday. 123 to 91 meters. They've once again banned the Ram. GK flipping it up a little bit, banning Tracer instead of that Cass.
Pushing this into an Orisa matchup with Kaffa's not wanting it. He's going to go in towards the Hazard. Sim online, Cass online. They want to shut down Infected. This is the anti-Orisa composition.
Okay, well, Tree's already dead. Lethal's trying to juggle with that wall as well. Just manages to climb over it somehow. As Infected and Vega fall too. Wow, that was a quick fight. Truepool takes one with him, but yeah, the rest, they're going to bite the dust. And Infected instantly switching. It is Mauga time.
Yeah, I mean, you just have way too many counters on the Orisa on here. All of it combined, just pressure. Infected doesn't want any of it, but this is a risk, right? We saw Mauga come through, but it was from the GK side, and honestly, didn't look too good. I think GK happy to receive the Mauga. I think they'll be able to play into it. You might end up seeing the Sim swap come through in terms of Maimon getting off this here. We'll keep tabs on that one.
Very easy targets here to dive in Ultraviolet too. If you can land a big stomp, Genji's going to follow up pretty quick. Infected is very low, receives a Suzu, but Tree's also out of position. A lot of incoming fire there as Infected tried to make a move. That's the rest just being cleaned up. If they can make this, a complete team well without losing anybody, this is good. A good start for GK. That's point. That's Cat.
I'll tell you what, this is the important thing as well. We just talked about the brilliance of the GK bans. They banned Mei last map. We saw the value. This Tracer ban targeting Zera is extremely good because Zera on Tracer is where he's going to pop off on a map like Rusabi. It's perfect for him. Better yet, yesterday it was a Ram and a Cass ban. GK banned their own Cass. Huge mistake. You want the Cass into Infected, and now that Lethal gets to play it, it's making the difference.
High noon for Lethal. A little teleport play as well. Yeah, no one falling for that debate. Ain't no way. 80 meters and counting now as the rush is ripped on the staircase. However, the window and the beat in response, and even a window too, just throwing everything in the kitchen sink, maybe even the entire house. Why not? Zera dead. Here's the downpour. Where you run into? Infected down. This is 100+ meters for GK as RuPaul carved limb from limb as another team kill comes in.
Zera's going to go. Zera's potentially looking over towards Adventure. You've hit over 100 now. I can invoke the theory if I want to. And just for people to know, it's a 100-meter gap, not just reaching 100 meters. You have to get a 100-meter gap. However, we're getting to 120 meters. I'm not going to rule Team Liquid out. I know they're a capable team. They're a very good team. And it's possible, because it's the grand final, my belief in Team Liquid is still going to be there. But I've got to say, 127, it's extremely rare to see a comeback from this.
Vega's got beat. Connects. Ultraviolet down. They're using this to get out of the spawn. Oh, Vega goes back in. Yep, Lethal with a quick kill, but that should be the cleanup they desire. 132 meters, though, to Zera right now. Oh, this is going to be a brawl in mid for the next 6 minutes, I think.
And I'll tell you what, there's a reason why GK are going super aggro there as well in terms of the last place, so looking for kills. Any single kill on Team Liquid on their recovery push forces respawns and reinforcements. You're not going to get a clean 4v5. You sort of do a little bit of waiting as you're pushing the bot back to middle. Every single ultimate that Team Liquid have to spend on their own side of the map is costly. See if they can get something done here, though. Tree.
Oh, Abu dominated there by Tree. Nice little flick up to the skies, too. Overclock, nets, Tree, a couple of kills. And cover down as well. Okay, there it is.
Five
Team
alive,
kill, and no one dies. Yeah.
Yep. Total flaws. That's exactly what you need. You can't get meaningful push if you, A, do not convert your ultimates 2 meters. So if you are using ultimates on your own side of the map to recover payload, you're not getting conversion on meters. So you have to try and find value on ultimates on the other side of the map too. Get flawless victories where you can have 5 alive so that you don't have to wait for respawns. Now Team Liquid have a real shot of threatening Cat.
Little Reaper action. Okay, to counter the Mauga. Forced to use that Ray form pretty early. Takes a railgun. And the displacement of Cuffer there is really rough. Out of the lamp completely. So Ultraviolet, that ability going a little wasted there. Zera's Venture might be really the ticket that they need. Nice little stomp kill onto Lethal as well. Team Liquid, Avril, they're capping this point.
Well, I mean, this is Venture Malga, right? We're going back to Dallas last year. Falcons showed us how you can play this comp to success. Lethal stopping off now, but it's mind mode. That's the question mark because Venture's so good into the Symmetra. Cuffer can't get saved. All you gotta do, drill dash, boot them out in Symmetra TP.
Oh, a cage into the shock. Yeah, no chance to get out of that one, unfortunately, UV. They end up losing Vega. The bot is being stolen away, but Quick Sharp is infected, making sure that bot doesn't get out of their grasp, at least not for too long. Is there another teleport coming in as Wymo does TP back, hits RuPaul with a right click, so they are sustaining casualties.
A second one is going to force Team Liquid to back on out and disengage. Vega going down is actually already enough. GK's plan here as Maimon goes to the Genji. As I said, expecting the Symmetra swap to come through. Is you have to get these individual kills because as soon as Liquid lose even one, you may have to consider disengaging just because of the reinforcement distance. Losing 2, you absolutely have to leave.
Well, they're being into this fight and Tree's already down. Zera, basically a non-factor in this fight right now, has only just joined the rest of his team and, well, half of them are already dead. Cover is going pretty low here. The Vega and RuPaul are down, meaning there's no support left for Zera or Infected. As now Geekay find a team kill.
Shoving payload back into Team Liquid territory, and this is where things are going to get nasty again. Team Liquid, as I say, for the comeback to happen, you have to try. Okay, Lethal's just going to go early. This might be too early. I don't know if his team is really here just yet, but I'm not too sure if I like this, just because I prefer to see Lethal hold on to ultimate and respond to Liquid. You want to bait Liquid to ult into you.
Vega actually just got dominated. Railgun, and then Cuff on the hazard just jumps around the corner, just kills him instantly. Rush on the staircase again. Team Liquid only 3 alive. Geekay, they've got 4 right now, but they are fighting on the point, and they are fighting on Team Liquid's side of the map. So, like you mentioned, any kind of casualty here for Geekay, not great. But because the payload is so far up, like Team Liquid, they're going to have to use ults to get this out.
Yeah, I mean, Geekay will stay. They don't need to disengage. They're going to make this a bloody fight for Liquid. They're going to say, if you want to win this one, you must ult into us. Liquid are going to get desperate soon.
Should be able to kill the hazard. No, still got a lot of spike guard. Okay, Admiral may be dead. Ends up just trying to dive in there, save Cuffer, but Cuffer was already out. A double slide there from Treat. Getting out of fire. But there it is. Another ult expended for Team Liquid. However, still have Beat and still have Cage for next.
And they still have all 5 alive here as well. So, again, that's important. As we head to OT, and this will head to OT, I'm not expecting GK to complete the map despite the pushing to 132 now, extending the gap, or then double of 64. Team Liquid need to make sure when OT hits, payload is on the pushing side of the map where they can gain meters. Here we go, tempo beat.
Vamp used. Blade from Imone gets a little bit of damage there onto the Lucio. But they're trying to stagger these ults out, trying desperately not to use anything more. They haven't lost anybody just yet, although I say that Tree ends up going down to Mimone.
That's huge.
1 casualty, that'll do. They only lost 1.
1 casualty is more than enough because look at the reinforcement distance now. Tree's going to take a while to get back in. Reinforce with the team.
And they haven't got forwards.
And even the 1 ultimate used, that 1 ultimate doesn't convert into meters because you're going to have to take another fight now. These are the ultimates now from Zero Infected, RuPaul included, that they need to be able to win with. GK holding onto the Mimone going back over towards the Symmetra. Now the Zero's off from the Venture.
Oh, okay. A little aggro beat here from Admiral. How are Team Liquid going to respond? They're going to lock people in with the Cage. No, the Cage play too. Oh, Zero just explodes though. That was going to be the perfect combo. Ends up getting through the lamp as well from Ultraviolet. And there was 3 people grouped up for Zero to get an easy multi-kill. But everybody from GK there just look at him and he instantly evaporates.
I'll lay down the win condition right now for Team Liquid. 90 meters by the time OT hits, and they must be in a pushing position with bot on the GK side of the map where Liquid are gaining meters. That's the win condition. Anything other than that, I'm not seeing the win.
Nice shot onto Admiral to start the fight off. Team Liquid now trying to steal the bot away. UV also dead. 40 seconds to go, overtime approaching. This little 180 there. They cannot, like you mentioned, lose a single player, and it doesn't look like they're going to. Basically a team kill with Admiral and UV only just spawning, but overtime approaching. They got a lot of meters to cover.
Imone now making decisions with Zero going back to the Venture. Imone is 69 on the Photon Barrier. With that amount of ult charge, the OT about to hit. He's got to stay. Could be a difference maker. Needs to make sure he's not caught by Zero. Very important fight. Vega will have beat.
Vega's out. Mimone TPing on him there, ends up TPing back. Look how far that TP went actually as well. Kind of nuts. Sound barrier ends up coming in, hits the spike wall as Admiral ends up going down. A little stomp there onto Cuffer, stopping his spike guard being used. And they've lost 2 already, have Geekay. And oh, little throw dash in the sky there, making sure Ultraviolet had nowhere to go. Overtime here, but GK, they've still got this wall.
GK have respawns here already. No one died on Team Liquid. That's the good news. They didn't quite hit the 90 meter mark, but they still have the opportunity. They have to win a couple of clean fights here to close this gap. 60 or so meters from where OT hit. GK are taking a while to get into it. GK need to speed up these fights, otherwise they're at risk of losing this one.
Oh, they bait TP. They bait positioning. And there's the wall. They're just going to jump on Infected. Infected's got no help. No help for the Malga. Completely walled off. And Mimone's just going to seal the deal just like that. Lethal. Just putting a flare, an extra firework in the sky with that overclock. And there it is. GK now on match point versus Team Liquid.
And this is the problem. You load into this map, but the bans go the way of GK. The Tracer ban is so influential. Getting rid of the Zero Tracer just means the highest carry potential on Liquid is taken offline. More than that, 100 meters by 730. That's how quickly I'm activating the theory. Unfortunately, it's so hard to make a comeback from 120 something they eventually had in about 7 minutes remaining, and then they even pushed to 132 before Liquid found their first meter. And because GK can spend the rest of the 7 minutes of the map playing defensively, they can make mistakes, they can lose fights, they can lose plays, it doesn't matter. As long as you're draining resources, making trades out of Team Liquid every single time, and then every now and then pushing payload back into Team Liquid spawn, they're just not going to make the comeback. Liquid are just not going to make the comeback. I know it looks close. I know we got to the end and it's like, oh, but you know, wasn't there like 20 meters left? It's all still in favor of GK. Their spawn is around the corner. They have full ultimates. Liquid have to use a lot to even get to that point. And then when the time really comes for it, GK just kind of explode onto that payload. Infected gets caught out. And Liquid, they really did a reasonable job of making the comeback possible. But GK's lead, it's just so much to try and bite back into.
Yeah, a picturesque bait TP. Just straight up faked them. TP near the point. Oh, they're going to come in. The entirety, you saw on the little X-ray, the entirety of Liquid, apart from Infected, ended up backing up around the corner. And then as soon as Mymone sees that, it's like, okay, wall in between everybody. They all just shoot Infected. He pops Cardiac Overdrive, but it's not enough. Not just the Malgo on his own. TP from the Kiriko. The Suzu landed a fraction of a second too late. And to be fair, even if it did, the amount of focused fire and the Sims at full charge, like, you're not saving Infected there. Match point now for Geekay.
You can't get off the payload. You have to stay on as well because it's OT, and so somebody's going to get caught by that. You can't just all disengage. So it's a tough game out here. And even if some members of GK go down, their respawn is right there, literally right there. So on to Suravasa we go, Jack. It's 3-1. You call it a match point. GK looking for the back-to-back for the majority of their members.
Yeah, which is ridiculously impressive. They've only added Mymone, right, to the roster as Zera departed and is now on Team Liquid. I called it before, someone's going to be, or maybe even a group of players are going to be back-to-back winners in Stage 1 and Stage 2. I mean, it would be insane if Zera made it even without his team that did exceptionally well at the China LAN, like against Crazy Raccoon of all teams. He was the star player. And I think everybody kind of questioned, like, okay, Zera's left. He's going to a Team Liquid team that looks incredibly strong, and they proved it through the bracket and proved it against GK. But where does that leave Nightmare, now GK, without that Tracer player? Well, Mymone, I'd say I take Zera over Mymone in the Tracer duel, but his flexibility, playing the Sim, playing Venture, playing all these other picks,
Tracer band.
It looks so good. Yeah, and exactly, a Tracer band too. Suravasa could be the final map here in this series. It's a Team Liquid pick.
Just goes to show for this GK squad, even losing, I was going to say arguably, but I think everyone would unanimously agree. Basically, their best player in Zera after Hangzhou,
right
after that performance versus Crazy Raccoon. How are you going to build or maintain a winning first place position in the region, especially not just losing Zera, but losing him to the next best team, who yesterday looked like they were the best team. Today are struggling a little bit more in this series. Team Liquid obviously still have opportunity. Suravasa, Tracer is going to be available once more. You can't ban Tracer again. Expecting big things out of Zera here. The Ana is going to be gone. Winston gone from the Team Liquid side, which is interesting. I don't know if that one was... I think that might actually be a ball protect, is what it reads to me. We haven't seen the infected ball yet. Suravasa is a ball map. I wonder if this is the time for the ball to come through.
Last time they faced as well, that wasn't in the playoffs. They went to New Junk City, of all maps. It went to 5. So I can imagine Suravasa is going to be the same kind of thing here. Team Liquid on their final lifeline. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? You think of that China LAN in Hangzhou. Zera and now Geekay, the roster, they beat Crazy Raccoon. And then Crazy Raccoon get the rematch, and then they win. Like, it's kind of the same story being played out right now for Zera himself. Like, we beat them in the upper bracket, and we beat them 3-1 as well. Like, a confidence builder game, and a game that I think everybody had GK winning as well, considering their performances not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs too. Like, insane stuff for Zera to be in. As they TP out of the gate, Maimon, he's on that Sombra, and Zera back on Tracer.
Rest are going to be the choice coming on through. So no ball to be played in just yet. Back on the Tracer, exactly what we expect. Another thing to consider is the Winston ban also protects the Orisa. You want to make sure Infected can play at least this hero, if not something else.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to not see the Wrecking Ball, but kind of expecting Maimon to play the Sombra. Oh, okay. Wow, that must have been a hack or something. A hack and a virus onto RuPaul. They end up losing the support pretty early on. That's an amazing pick from GK.
GK just doing the same as they always do. Maimon on the Sombra, like you say, I think likely, given that he's considering the possibility of Infected going ball, maybe even Tree playing towards the Freya. This is just a huge cleanup. Thankfully, the cap has only barely come through, so we're not snowballing away just yet, although Ultraviolet's ult charge is disgusting. He's already nearly there after one fight.
And they're going to play super far up as well, make Team Liquid fight for every single inch of this map. And checking their backs too. Maimon hanging around. Nice little virus, and he's out. Yo,
reveal.
Okay, needs heal though. Needs heal. Needs heal. Okay, we're all good. No one panic. Oh, wow, that was an aggressive window. Tree actually trying to chase Maimon there, and Ultraviolet swings in for the rescue. RuPaul dead again. This superstar support player is having a rough time of it so far. It's been picked over and over in these last couple of fights. This should be this first point going GK's way.
GK need more though. They're kind of slowing down at the moment. It's going to give opportunity for Infected and RuPaul to find ultimates and maybe swing this one around. One more touch to play on through. There's still going to be a contest. Zera is always a threat.
Well, the rest is go. RuPaul's dead again. He used the rush, sure, but to what effect? To what avail? A nice pulse bomb from Zera, but I'm sorry. The fight's already over, my son. Terror Surge on the point for Infected, ends up killing one. Him and Zera trying to stay alive, trying to keep this point alive. They find the flip, but GK, they got the manpower on the point. Like, good luck staying alive. Little Virus does end up connecting with Zera. Might be able to get another touch, but it is Vega that gets on there in the end. But this is a staggered, delayed fight. There is a sound barrier, however.
Vega.
It does end up connecting with 4. And now we're seeing the Wrecking Ball for Infected. But a 5-man EMP from Maimon. Had that in the back pocket the entire time. Tree explodes. Ball on the point. Lands the slam kill. But they need to follow up with kills. The EMP, it may have looked good, but it was not a deal breaker for this point. There you go. Team Liquid, they control still. Somehow they make it way back in.
I mean, that's incredible. The clutch to come on through. Vega dropping in with the beat for the team. And then you see it land on 4. You're like, hang on a second. Liquid have arrived. Infected does go the ball. Probably just to play for the touch. I don't know if he's going to stay on ball for the rest of the map, but we talked about the possibility of it being here. It is arrived now. Tree coming through. OC time.
Oh, what a shot. All right, Tree takes down Lethal. Infected ends up going down, however, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. Point being capped at the moment by Maimon. Coverage guys to a pulse, and Team Liquid have managed to come back in a massive way.
Hold on. 4v4. This is still doable. OC coming through for Lethal now. Touch enabled. A UV of all players. Maybe a little early.
You've got to get out. He's got no abilities. No lamp. Had shift. Used it. Got slammed. Infected on the ball. Comes back. Another slam straight in front of Lethal. I mean, there's going to be another touch here as April is hanging around. But can Lethal actually stay alive? He's already used Slide, and that's going to be communicated by the rest of Team Liquid, and they focus fire the Soldier down. Team Liquid, they survived the 5-man EMP and come back on that point. 100-99. Absurd stuff.
That is a point that you're going to want to look back on multiple times, because that kind of comeback, that kind of clutch coming through from Team Liquid to stay alive, keep the point on, as we began that essentially in the final moments with Maimon Lethal. It's a 5 versus 2 that GK didn't clean up. Unreal stuff from Team Liquid.
Oh, nice manual hack. Virus connects. Oh, you hate to see that if you're a Team Liquid fan. Manual hack on the ball doesn't quite get there, but a Virus will. A lot of extra ult charge now for Maimon, and gets away.
Next EMP will be coming online fairly shortly as well. And see what we get done with this RuPaul 2-near rush. GK already get the first cap, though.
Mine's available. Okay, he's just going to deploy it on point. Nice little slam on the Lucio, and oh, Sarah is right by Infected side. You see Ultraviolet was in the sky there trying to land some right clicks on the Lucio, but unfortunately didn't end up connecting them. GK is still going to drag this out for a little bit longer, but a good start.
So I have some news to report, as it's been confirmed now. Didn't quite catch this one in time because a lot happened on the point, but during that comeback, you remember the EMP that did not win it for GK. At the same time the EMP drops, unfortunately, Admiral got Ajax by tree. Just confirm that now. So that also added to the comeback for Team Liquid. No sound barrier from Admiral, taken down midair. EMP comes through now.
Oh, wait. Did Vega just... Hang on a second. Vega, no beats? Is that another one? Okay, well, we'll have to get another replay on that one.
We'll get the referees. We'll get the referees.
We'll get the refs in for that one. There ain't no shot. Vega's so pissed. That wasn't Ajax. Okay.
Yep.
My God.
Confirmed it. We'll get one back. One on Admiral, one on Vega. Keep the tally on. Like I said, look, we said at the start of the series, you know, I'm here for it. I'm here to see these. This is what I signed up for.
Okay. That's 2. All right. Bring us some more. 72% of building now for GK. A lot of ults too.
Good ones. Backing Vega, obviously, just no beat. Super far behind Admiral. First OC comes through from Lethal. It's probably the main entry side from RuPaul and Team Liquid, but they're struggling to actually walk in. Just Infected on point.
Yeah, they've used that rush to like get some space in, but no one's really using it. I mean, Infected rolled through it short. Tree now on the high ground, and Lethal tried to go for the match, but that downpour and the lamp helping Ultraviolet clean up the kills. GK, they're going to claim this one. You got to imagine, especially with Infected being that low, no way they're giving this one up again. No shot after that first one.
Oh, they've lost the 5 versus 2 before, but this time around with Zera down, no ability to clutch. This Tree is still coming back from spawn. It's just not gonna happen. The timing ultimates go the way of GK. They go in that 184, close to there. They go 1-1 here on match point for GK Liquid. Trying their best to survive, and I do have to emphasize survive because consider that the first point was so GK favored. GK could have been at 2-0 by now.
Mine, slam, roll away. Mimone does end up getting taken down. Pretty close to the CMP, mind you. Problem is, right now for GK, they've not only lost Mimone, Cuff is in a bad spot and in a bad way as well. Had to leap on out of there. Used a lot of that spike guard to keep himself alive. Even a lamp was thrown in by Ultraviolet. That's going to net Team Liquid the first cap.
They'll get it with still the beat available to use, which is nice to see. EMP's about to come back online again. You don't want to see that same EMP.
Hold up.
Beat interaction with Ultraviolet down. Yeah, this should be a reset.
Yeah, quick reset. Gives Mimone time to maybe Ajax Vega again.
Good to see you.
I mean, that is impactful enough. We've literally seen the fact that when that happens, it's enough to lose the entire point given how fast flashpoints go. And even looking back at it, by the way, it was frame perfect. Literally, as soon as the beat comes down, it was exact same frame that EMP cancelled it. So, that fast.
It's just kind of a... Oh! Wait, he meant EMP Jax from Mimone. Just got slammed. Well, Vega, you don't need to worry about that anymore. You can use the beat whenever now. They don't have the EMP.
Well, just save it. Save it for Admiral. There's still one more fight to come through. It depends if GK can reset this in time.
Oh, they got the kill on Lethal, though. I mean, 90% plus. They can't get there. I mean, he's going to be a rush touch, Avril.
Who's going to get it? Where's the Tracer? Locking it in. Barely gets the touch. A recall away. But look at the ultimate. Team Liquid still have plenty to use.
Okay, sound barrier connects from Admiral. Nice little bowl off the map there, but I believe the Tracer had the recall. Vega hits a beat. Okay. Pokes bomb in the hands of Zera. Focusing down that lamp right now as over time. It still ticks down here for Liquid. They've got the numbers, and they got the point. That's 2 on the board as Zera just goes monstrous at the end.
Yep, this is opportunity now for Team Liquid to get this map done and dusted. One more point for them. And we continue on towards a map 6. EMEA ended in 6 maps, so we're hoping to at least get that same deal in the NA Grand Finals. Liquid had the better ult bank going to that last fight after a very labored touch from GK. Obviously, Admiral having to spend beats super fast to even get the team into fight with RuPaul down early. Point hasn't unlocked, though. That's the only problem. You do have a player advantage, but we're still traveling to the point itself.
Yeah, Ripple getting kind of cyberbullied now, no lie, no lie. Getting picked off fairly early on in a lot of these fights. Now, there is mines, there is an overclock, but Team Liquid, they're going to have to regain a lot of this position. Looks like Tree wants to go for an off angle here, but quickly matched, actually, by Maimone. This overclock could be deadly, though. Spots a Lucio lacking a little bit. Oh, he's slipping. Oh, he got out of there with like a sliver of HP. Doesn't look like Lethal can actually confirm that kill, but across the map, Zera has got a kill onto cover. Now Tree in trouble. A quick TP and a Suzu there from RuPaul to keep Tree alive. Zera finds another one. Lethal dead as Team Liquid cap the point.
And this is what happens, you know, RuPaul does go down early, but because the point doesn't unlock, GK can't do anything with that kill. And also on the Kiriko, TP back into play, rejoin the team instantly. You actually get onto the point, Infected dropping mines, blocking positioning, and then suddenly the OC rips on through. Despite not killing Admiral, it's Kuffer that's in trouble. So much damage being put into him. And Zera going large again.
Oh, wow. Kuffer needs some help real quick. Looks like Team Liquid want to keep up the pressure here. Ultraviolet having to TP away. He hasn't got the perk for double swift step just yet, so a little bit more deadly to use that aggressive, ambitious pulse bomb, I should say, from Maimone. And now a rush on the point for Team Liquid. They want to end this. They want to make the next fight the last one, if not this one. Zera's already killed 2. Kuffer kills Infected, but, I mean, on this point right now, you're going to need some major healing for Kuffer. Ends up going down as Zera comes up big. This guy does not want to loot. What? I'm sorry. How is he there for that long? He survived, I mean, sure. I mean, he's dead. Sound barrier comes in, and that'll do it. 3-1 victory for Team Liquid. The sneaky beaky play there not quite working out as Team Liquid keep themselves in the series.
I was talking about Zera surviving, actually, because he went down to 1 HP. He got virused as well. And he just lived. He lived through the entire thing. Pretty nice stuff coming through from Zera and Team Liquid there. The final touch from Lethal. And by the way, yes, it was Lethal in the Sombra at the end because it was a swap between Maimone and Lethal. It was Maimone playing Sombra for the majority. And then towards the end, this is something that GK have to do if they want both a Tracer and a Sombra. You have to do a double DPS swap, which does hurt the economy a little bit depending on when it happens. But recovery, considering that Team Liquid, they lose that second point. Yeah, we had a couple of Ajaxes in there. We had also Maimone, unfortunately, not getting his EMP on that third point. But we got some very strong points coming on through. We've got to talk about the fact, again, really nice to see the fact that despite RuPaul being bullied out for the majority of the map, even dying before point unlocks, he still gets to come back in strong. Infected and Zera and the rest of Liquid still get to maintain control of point, convert onto Kuffer, who I think on those last 2 points really started to struggle, was going down super low HP multiple times, and it's just a struggling effort for GK to try and contest. I believe it was it 100-0 on both of the final 2 rounds? Yeah, it was.
Team Liquid now in the driver's seat. Look at that. The KD difference there is quite substantial. 26 to 45 death, a little 4.9 to 1.6. Team Liquid need to win a couple of maps here. GK still on that match point as they get to now choose this next one. And it kind of resets now because we get to kind of pick maps that we obviously won't see the same maps again, but we're resetting the mode, so open map pool completely.
And now do you want to look towards the Oases? Well, actually, you could even go towards Dorado. We talk about GK's strong maps. They like to play Weaver Bap on Dorado as well. We're also getting to a point in the series where kind of starting to run out of bans. If I look through the Liquid bans, okay, it's going to be New York City, sure. We did play New York City in our lower bracket game. And, well, GK cleaned that one up versus Nightmare 3-0. Nightmare didn't have a lot to say about it. But still, looking towards the bans available, I don't think we're going to see Life with a Bap here. Venture was played by Maimone. So remember, that is quite a pivotal pick for the GK side.
Yeah, I mean, this is where your bans are kind of running out as well, right? I mean, there's a few things you can pick up, but like Traces have been banned, like Hazards have been banned. Like you're, in a sense, like running out of bans, like because we're so late into the series. This being first to 4, of course. This was also the map worth keeping in mind that GK finished the series on versus Team Liquid in their regular season match 5. So yeah, we'll see if they can round this one out. We're having a back-to-back flashpoint.
This is GK when they played against Nightmare just hours ago now. It was a Venture composition. Lethal playing the Sojin, Kuffa on the Ram. Cass was banned out. Kiriko banned by GK in response. And in a similar kind of fashion, I think both Painkiller and Infected want that Orisa. So we bring the ball back out because that is another interesting one. I wouldn't be surprised if GK just goes for a ball ban, knowing that, okay, if the Orisa comes through, we're happy with that. Lethal can just play the Cass. It's whatever. If it's a Ram mirror, well, Kuffa feels fine in that Ram mirror. I think by the way the series has gone so far, it seems like to me, Infected is less willing or less comfortable to play that Ram mirror. He's mostly avoided. He's trying to play a few other heroes. We even saw him go towards, you know, the Malga. And Ramatra's already been banned by Team Liquid, so it's not like they can do that one again.
Nope. Well, there it is, Venture ban. And Team Liquid responding with a BAP. It's going to force us into potential Lucio Kiriko territory, which might favor if you want to be a dive-heavy team, play through the Tracer. A good look for Team Liquid. GK banning away their own Venture, by the way, which is very interesting. It could have also have been a Symmetra Protect. This is double duty. You get to protect the Symmetra and ban away one of Symmetra's counters all in one go. So if that is the case, very smart from GK. Otherwise, they have banned away one of their own important heroes, which could be a mistake. Let's load on in New Junk City. Geekay still on match point after Team Liquid kind of kicked him in the rear in that last map. Going to another Flashpoint map, New Junk City. See where MyMoan wants to pivot. We know Zera is going to be playing a perma Tracer for the rest of the series. Ain't no way he's switching. Lethal still a force to be reckoned with on this Cassidy. But it has about how MyMoan has pivoted in this series. Going Venture, now banned. Going Sim. Now could look for Infected though. Cover, maybe starting on the ramp.
I think MyMoan's going to stay on the Venture. This is like I said, if you ban the Venture, you remove the Sim's, one of the Sim's biggest counters straight away. Not only that, but the Venture ban also protects the Cass, which hasn't been banned yet by Team Liquid. Yet to come on through if the series continues. And because it's like the Cass comes through, Infected knows it. He doesn't even want to start on the Orisa.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, GK actually got to mid quicker. Speed ring out of the gate. Abril with the amp. They catch Vega on a like the smallest flank of all time. And as they reach that point first, Team Liquid, they just get run over. That's an easy point cap.
And Lethal can go Soj at any point as well if you really want to kind of play into countering the Malga. I mean, the Reaper was there last time, but I think Soj so good you get to play the long range with Tree, but farm up rails so quickly. Tree can't do the same thing. A lot more shields, TPs around the map as well that he has to contend with. So we'll see what happens when Lethal gets the opportunity to go back to spawn, but seeing this Malga look come back from Team Liquid, this is where GK kind of fell on their face yesterday, but Infected really wants to make it work.
Oh, good crit stomp. Wow, Admiral just got deleted there. Was wall riding. Potentially thought he was safe from Infected. Infected so low, though, as Kuffa just body blocks him. Tree does pick up the kill on UV, but MyMoan is going to be really tough to deal with. Again, these TPs, frustrating. Although Kuffa with, no real support to be found. Tree and Vega are just going to team up. Just run at rings around Kuffa and MyMoan. There will be a point flip, but still, 79% for the first cap. It's not bad.
That could have gone poorly, given that Infected goes down so early, by the way. Super low ult charge. He just hasn't had the opportunity to survive, hasn't had the opportunity to deal damage. We talked about this yesterday. There was a buff on the patch for Malga, but we just haven't seen any teams really get the use out of Malga just yet. Support all that's coming online. It's going to be RuPaul Rush available. Just about.
Stomp. Oh, doesn't hit the crit stomp. Has a lot of skulls lined up, a lot of damage, but a Suzu, a Rush, and a Cardiac Overdrive saving Infected there. An annihilation off the point. His Tree has found himself on the wrong side of the fight. Even a wall invested by GK as they manage to now get themselves on the point. Should get the cap, had beat to spare.
Now get to use the beat for the next fight as well. Cage is about to come online finally. Vega lagging behind 25%. We do remember Vega was taken down quite early in the opening fight. Straight away by Lethal. Where's the touch going to come from? Zera?
Zera's on, doing a little housekeeping right now, taking care of those turrets. Sound barrier comes in. Abril so close to Ajaxing. Not again, please. High ground here for Lethal. And here, actually, who deals with him? It's going to have to be someone like Infector or maybe even Tree. sends a disrupt shot his way, but Admiral boops Tree into lethal, secures the kill. Latest sound barrier here from Vega, and Infected closing in on this cage. Seems like an easy fight win here for Team Liquid. But the orbital ray might be the difference maker GK need. But unfortunately, Cuther not quite tagged by it, but they got a sim at full charge. A high healing Malga, though, is going to keep Team Liquid in this fight somehow.
Yeah, he just doesn't go down. This is the difference. I mean, Malga did get his personal healing buffed a little bit on this patch, and it seems to be enough.
How did he
with
survive?
RuPaul and Vega in there, he just lives on a sliver of HP, and Ultraviolet doesn't get the orbital ray in time. He used it at the end, but if he gets it maybe 2 to 3 seconds earlier, when he can use it with the rest of the team, I think Comfort may have already gone down as well. Just don't have the staying power for GK to maintain themselves, and once again, Team Liquid, can they recover this first point?
There's the flip. Touch has to come in. Zera again gets the touch. Stick goes out. Pulse bomb misses. He's going to have another one for sure as the rush gets used on the point here for Team Liquid. Zera first to fall. Turrets right now cooking Infected on the point. Someone's going to deal with them at some point. A short range dash there. No stun coming in. And here comes the wall. Lethal is dead. No healing was sent his way whatsoever. And now Team Liquid have to walk into this microwave. This car washer turret. Asuzu comes in just in time to save Infected's life, but the focus fire from Geekay is just too much. An Annihilation Rip to the very end, but Coffee is literally 1 HP. He couldn't be more 1. Tree finds 2, and RuPaul finishes the fight. As Team Liquid flip the point, get the cap.
Tree, though, he got the important kill onto Admiral, prevented the beat from coming on through, and again, Infected lives for so long. So once more, the damage wasn't quite there, but the big mistake was not saving Lethal. You called it no healing, no help for Lethal. The walls, the shields coming down too late, Maimone playing into the photon barrier, Cuffer dropping in that right click, but just doesn't save Lethal. Now big EMP.
Beautiful stuff there. A system reboot now required for GK, just Admiral not using the ult, luckily enough. Team kill, and that's going to be a point cap.
You can feel the pressure coming on through. Cuffer's even gone over towards the Orisa, maybe spawn tech here. Yep. Obviously died out straight away on the Orisa. We talked about the fact that Lethal at any point could swap to Sojin to put a little bit more pressure onto Infected. I think that's needed to come through. Now, this is Lethal's best hero. He has been performing today on it.
Oh,
there it is.
RuPaul. Nice shot. Sound barriers on both sides. RuPaul, Maimone traded. A manual hack onto Lethal, but teleports away from any danger. Lands himself straight forward. Infected, though, and Infected has still got the cage right in front of the team. Infected now trying to get another crit stomp in as Zera hunts down the back line of GK. A TP from Ultraviolet. Zera eventually finishes him off, and now sight set on the Lucio. Tree's there with the backup. This tag team duo, Tree and Zera right now, just tearing GK limb from limb as they continue to hold the point.
I mean, when the numbers get low, Zera can get so much done here. GK can't keep Lethal alive again, despite the TP plays. He's doing his best. He got that opening pick onto RuPaul. Now we're threatening a 2-0 on New Junk City. Map choice from GK. As Team Liquid, they're actually winning on this Malga. Making this work, finally, where GK couldn't yesterday.
A free cap, but we take Orisa out. And we're at 91%. That's a fine trade if you're Team Liquid right now.
Look at the ult.
And they don't need to use ults. Crit stomp onto UV. Team Liquid playing the game right now at a much faster pace than GK. And honestly, outbraining them right now.
Oh my goodness, this is it. They've done. You can't even touch. No one is even there to touch Maimone. Probably could have been the only one. GK will give it up. One more point to play on through. But look at the ultimates. Nearly 5 online from Team Liquid. I mean, that is just gross. Even the Lethal swap into Sojin struggling to find value here. It's the Sombra and the Tracer running circles around GK. It's causing problems.
Cage still available too if they want to try and just make this fight not even at all. Terror Surge? Absolutely nothing. Cover goes down, trading for Vega. There's the Cage, and now Sojourn. Sure, he's on the rush. Still manages to kill Infected, though. Okay, Cage backfiring completely on Team Liquid as they invest basically everything. They've got EMP and this beat for this next fight, but GK somehow caught on top.
Yeah, I mean, Lethal getting that kill within the cage is absolutely brutal for Infected. Now for GK, Cuffert moving over towards third hero of the map so far, but his best. It's the Hazard, of course, that's been so good for GK's entire stage. The Cuffert specialty.
Well, Vega hits the sound barrier at half HP there. Only hits 3 though. Lethal.
Wow.
Crit stomp from Infected. Hits the stun. Easy kill. Shuts down one of the stars in North America. EMP's going to connect though. Only connects with 2, but it might be enough. Cuffer hacked that entire time, and Tree just focusing him down with the help of Infected. A point flip does end up coming in. 52% for GK to start off this next one. But Team Liquid, they're tenacity. They want to take them to the next map. The full distance, the full 7.
Zero is just still popping off here. Vega 1 HP, but it's Ultraviolet that falls. The final support's online for either team. 52%. It's a better look for GK to start things out with. And despite only a 2-man EMP, look, the EMP catches Cuppa, and that's where the dominoes start to fall. You lose Cuppa, things get worse through Admiral now caught. Massive Infected and Zero laying up each other.
Infected is just... This is a prime Mauga right now from Infected. Every single charge is getting the stomps, the crits, the slight CC that enables you to capitalize on those kills. And with 70%, this is looking dire for GK as they come back in with ults. They're coming up, but they haven't secured them yet.
Infected 1 HP, needs to heal, doesn't get any help, and now the flip likely to come on through in the final hour here for GK. And don't they need it?
Okay, Zero gets blamed there as 99%. There's the flip. But there's still a hope. There's still a chance for Infected to finish this 3-0.
F7 on board here for Team Liquid if they can just get the flip. One more cap, take us the full distance in the grand finals. Page coming online. Rush on the other side. RuPaul's going to be a little bit delayed in that regard.
They want to go early, I think. GK, they're posturing for it. Infected is super low. Knows now is their final chance to get in this one. A nice little Suzu. A cage as well. Onto Cuffer. Mimone struggling to stay alive in the corner. Ends up getting Suzu, but the pulse bomb doesn't even get thrown out. Infected secures the kill onto Mimone. Cuffer also ends up going down as Team Liquid is just routing GK. Infected now pushing on the point, putting his manly body on there, and there's no one from GK that can really answer him. Lethal with the railgun just gets smacked up aside of the head though by Tree. And then it's a 3-0. We're going to a map number 7 here in the NA Grand Finals as Team Liquid school GK on New Junk City.
Coming back with a Vengeance Tracer now available for Zera, and he just rips through GK, and we see the win on the Mauga, taking a page out of Ben's Best, the bot team that won in the Battle Bots Grand Finals. Mauga do be winning today, to the dismay of all of our eyeballs, but for Team Liquid, this is exactly what they're looking for. Cuffer and GK couldn't make this work yesterday versus Team Liquid. It is so crazy. So Team Liquid, they can turn this around and say, you know what? We will make this work. And they do this after losing with the Mauga on Runasapi, one of Mauga's best maps. But another good Mauga map is obviously New Junk City, Servas in play, but New Junk City in particular. The bans were honestly really good from GK. The Venture ban protecting the Sim and the Cass, but then just didn't quite have the damage to take down Infected.
A map number 7 here in the Stage 2 Finals of North America, and I wouldn't have it any other way. A back-to-back map win on Flashpoint. We're going to jump over to the desk to send us in to this final map here between GK and Team Liquid.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what a performance from Team Liquid to claw their way back into the mix with this one. Johnny literally can't believe it. We're going all the way, guys. We're going to map 7.
We just want to give out those lovely, lovely hours spent in chat.
Yeah, I mean, if you
just want to give the drops. We want to give out all the drops to them. Yeah, we just want to give them all the drops.
If you haven't gotten the drops yet, then, well, what can I say? You didn't deserve them. There we go. Let's talk about what we just got to see on New Junk City, though, or also on the Surabasa, quite frankly. Team Liquid, they were upping the tempo. They were making compositional changes, which really worked out for them, and they really caught Geekay off guard with it.
Yeah, I think the key word that Jaws and Avril brought up was pace, right? And I just started even on Suravasa as well when Infected picked the Wrecking Ball, constantly threatening the backline of Admiral and Ultraviolet on GK, and it allowed Tree and Zera to operate in a way they didn't really do previously. Tree always sliding around on the Sojourn, just like pressuring the backline, and they were able to find picks on the back of the Wrecking Ball. On New Junk City, it was all about the Mauga. Tree on the Sombra as well in the enemy backline, line and Infected charging in. Infected got so many great overruns there.
Yeah.
Like the stomps, it was unbelievable. So I'm just absolutely blown away. That was like a signature Mauga game. Like I know it's Mauga, but like he got max value from a Mauga and those overruns. It was a really impressive Mauga game, considering the value he got from the overruns.
Well, and even just also being able to see the coordination of both DPS, being able to get those executions on top of this tempo. Like if you're not going to get the final blow, your partner is right there with you. That communication and synergy is so important to guarantee it, because if you don't get those kills and you don't get those eliminations, especially when it's on the Kiriko or the support line, it really can make a big change in the outcome. So also, to be fair, I think just to have a little highlight note on Saravasa, the number of Ajaxes that we had across the board also was insane. I think it was 3 total, 2 sound barriers and an EMP.
Who's counting, right?
Nutty.
Yeah, I mean, it's turning into, I don't want to call it scrappy, because obviously both of these compositions do require quite a bit of coordination, but it is a bit of a dogfight here. Obviously, players are getting exhausted. Keep in mind also that Geekay is taking this to map 7 after running the gauntlet from the lower bracket to end up here. So they've been playing like, how many maps now? Crazy stuff, crazy tenacity that they're showing to keep themselves alive here. And quite frankly, given what we've seen from both of these teams, it's impossible to pick a favorite here. Like I think it's going to be on even footing heading into Oasis.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. And this has been a great day for my conspiracy group, by the way, because obviously going back and looking at yesterday's Winter Bracket final, Avril touched on it a little bit, and you did as well, Rich. You know, they banned the May on Circuit Royale. They didn't ban the Cassidy, GK that is. They didn't ban the Cassidy, which allowed them to counter Infected Sorisa. And now we're going to Oasis, which was the first map yesterday. So now GK, they know what Team Liquid would do. They would ban the Moira, and of course they know that Infect is going to play the Wrecking Ball. I'm curious to see what the bans are. Like, do you ban Wrecking Ball at this point, considering the trouble that Infect is giving you? I think it's quite ironic, actually, that we're going to go back. Oh, it's going to be the Mauga, actually. Can't wait to hear what the casters think about this one, Zoe. But this is, I just can't wait. This would be the 10th map for GK today, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I love that you managed to like sneak this in here as well, since we talked about, you know, GK deferring the bans yesterday on map 1 and 2, losing as a result of that. So here it is.
The tinfoil theory.
We're tinfoiling so hard, guys. We're tinfoiling so hard. Yeah, I mean, all these bans make sense though, right? I want to hear the opinion of Joss and Avril. Am I allowed to toss it to them? I'm not sure. I haven't heard yet. I think, okay, I've been told let's go for it. So let's get this one wrapped up. Map 7, GK going up against Team Liquid. Avril, Jaws, the mics are yours.
Thank you very much, Zoe. An Oasis to finish off the Stage 2 North American bracket here. GK versus Team Liquid. And it's worth pointing out, GK take us here, but every single time that they've met a Team Liquid, they've lost every single control.
Under different circumstances, though, yesterday's upper bracket final was Kufra and GK wanting to bring through the Malgan. It wasn't a good look. Ends up being, ironically, their opponents in Team Liquid that discover how to pilot the Malga, at least on New York City, to success. With Malga being banned on out, it's not going to be consideration. No sim either for W Maimone. It's the grand finals here, OWCS NA, the final map, no matter which way you cut it. Absolute cinema.
Zera's really going to have to be just locked in at this point. This backline is just so tough to take down. The target focus has to be perfect. A little lamp there to save Admiral. Oh, the flashbang, the hammer. Okay, Lethal. All right, Zera down. Infected pretty low as well. He's got control of this top pavilion, but isn't going to stick around for too long.
This is the horse that GK ride on, and I ain't talking about Orisa, I'm talking about the Beaver backline. They found so much success on this composition. They are the team that represents this signature look. And Team Liquid take it down because one of the few times we're going to see the entirety of the comp, including the hazard in play. They get the first cap, and Team Liquid trying to make this Winston plus Anna look work. No Brig in play, mind you.
Nice manual hack on Zera. Just getting bullied out right now. Forced to recall. Virus goes wide. Takes the little mini there to top himself back up. Still in the back line right now. Solo operating. But Cuthbert takes down Infected. Slides around the corner. A nano boost onto Tree, though, is going to be disastrous for Cuthbert. And although saying that, it's all good. Still got the grip there on top of the petal platform. But this nano dishing out damage, but no kills yet. There's Geekay kind of on the point right now. Just blissfully chilling like around the pavilion. Like Liquid have not made a dent in GK's armor right now.
It's just so hard. This is difficult to beat this comp unless Zera can find the opportunity to pop off. Now the Tree of Life comes through. Grip onto Lethal. Good luck taking anyone down through that.
Hey, no way. 375 HP on the cast. Yes, please, says Lethal. Mymone does eventually fall, but they at least get the trade. This map is so hard to get the flip on. Even a lamp coming through to help Lethal again. High Noon. Found the hammer rolling around, and even a downpour as well. Saving Private Lethal. Lethal has not fallen. The amount of support Lethal is getting now is unbelievable, and rightfully so. Admiral eventually falls to the nade of RuPaul, but PK is still on 80%, and they've not given up the cap yet. And Lethal standing tall in the front line.
That's only the third kill, though. It's 2 deaths on Mymone, 1 on Admiral. No one else has died. Cuffer, UV, and Lethal. Perfect KDs now as we head into final fight. RuPaul still lacking by 19%. Needs the nano in trouble, taking damage.
RuPaul had to nade himself too, so that isn't now usable. Although, well, Lethal is in a little bit of a sticky situation, but should be able to get gripped out. The cap did end up coming through, and Lethal's still not dead. High Noon used as Cuthbert peeks around the corner. An extra shot there coming in from Lethal to take down Tree. Admiral dashes to the center pavilion now as they try and get the reflip. Lethal brought to his knees eventually as Infected pops the Primal Rage.
Nano, RuPaul, low HP, has to find a target. Where's Infected? They're going to help each other.
Gonna go. Nope, not happening. Mymone ends up taking down RuPaul as Infected also falls. Nano boost from RuPaul, not a factor in this fight any longer. A small mistake maybe there from RuPaul. They needed help. They needed help from each other, like you said. A 99% as Zera gets the touch for OT again, but the Tracer swiftly dealt with. 99-27 as Geekay find the first round.
Match point now in the series, on the map as well. The Beaver backline plus the Hazard, indomitable. We saw the same comp on Oasis versus Nightmare earlier on, and it turned out perfectly. The difference there, though, was Hazard was banned. Guess what? Can't ban Hazard again. Already got banned out early in the series. So, as I said, when we walked into City Center, one of the few times you get to see GK play the full lineup, Hazard, Lifeweaver, and BAP all together to get them that 1-0 start. But we're going to move over to University. Cass surviving the bans with Symmetra being... You actually saw Mymone hover the Symmetra. Was like, nope, that's actually banned. Can't even TP or team out of spawn, I don't think. Actually, I'm not too sure on that one. That is an interesting interaction. We'll have to see about it, but either way.
All right, Mymone in the back line already. Playing around this mini health pack is going to be rather crucial. RuPaul already taking a sizable chunk of damage there. Infected very low on the point. In fact, the entirety of Team Liquid now right now are very low. Focus Fire has been very good for GK. As that Ravenous Vortex finishes off Vega pretty early, and Tree needs help. He's 6 HP. Yeah, Cover just jumps around the corner, clocks in for 6, and that's going to be the first cap to GK.
Full wipe essentially as well, Zero. I think getting out of that one safely, but the rest of Liquid is just falling over. And Infected once again, it's the story of the Ram versus the Orisa. And Infected has been unwilling to try and match in the Ram. He can't, or hasn't been able to really win in this matchup. And with the Cass on board, so good for Lethal into Infected, just putting the pressure on. Tree on 1 HP, you said no help. He goes down. At 20% for GK.
Gotta be careful, Tree. That Ravenous Vortex hits. You might be a dead man. Nice little headshot there onto Lethal. Gets saved by the Lamb. Now Tree on an off angle. Window unlocked. Same for Tree. Oh dear. This sound barrier though is going to be tough to actually deal with. High Noon. Skull triggered on Mymone, who tried to go for a pulse, maybe something. But they traded for RuPaul. And Vega's also down. Cuffer's found 2 in this fight.
Only 2 alive though. Admiral and Cuffer, they gotta stay together. Cuffer's still there. Doesn't have the Annihilation available. No healing either, which means he's likely to fall pretty late.
Oh, okay. Good for a little bit of stall there, but that's about it. 52% annihilation in the back pocket as well as that pulse.
By the way, Vega super far behind on the sound barrier. Didn't have it for that fight, but one thing that Vega did do, very importantly, we saw a boop come through that put Lethal into the pit in the middle, and Lethal wasn't part of the fight for the longest time. Maybe a mistake for Mymone to peek the Deadeye as well. That was the first kill that came through for Liquid.
Pulse one for Mymone. He wants this one. He wants it bad. A good stick. Lamb ends up coming in clutch though for RuPaul, but that resource is no longer available, so Cuffer can freely walk into the back line. A 3-man sound barrier from Team Liquid, that's disastrous. A late beat, Infected already dead. Sure, UV is down, but this is Geekay winning this fight.
52%, I mean, there's still time for Team Liquid to pull together something strong, but because Vega's been so far behind here, Admiral and Ultraviolet sync together, double support ultimates online, still ahead of RuPaul marginally. The annihilation to be pulled through for the potential victory. Look for that to be the victory fireworks for GK. Potentially finish off this one. Nothing to stop it right now from the Team Liquid side.
Tree's trying to find an angle here, but already pretty low. He's getting the support he requires, but gotta be careful. Playing on the edge like this is rather dangerous. A good first kill though. Mymone ends up going down. Tree on the high ground is going to be a little bit of a pain for them to deal with. But now Zera looking for a different target. They forced the lamp already, and what a spear spin there for Infected. Pushing UV straight out of the lamp. But OT is fast approaching. GK, they're going to have, what, 97% on board as Team Liquid find the fight win.
They need a miracle here. Team Liquid needs something big to come on through. A javelin head into a headshot from Tree, a nice stick from Zero that doesn't get lamped, something like that, because you're looking at nearly 5 ultimates, 4 major ones, double support ultimates. This is going to be the last
They're going to go early. The lamp, and anybody can just explode now, and Tree ends up going down. Lethal. GK, they use B, they press the issue, the annihilation on the point. Mymone has been traded, but I mean, Cuffer is going to be just indestructible in the front line. Ravenous Vortex misses his mark, but it's all good because GK have got the points. They may not have the pulse bomb, but they only need to deal with Infected and Zera, who's on the point. Zera needs some devious heroics right now to come back in. He finds one kill, make that a second! Zera is keeping Team Liquid in this fight. RuPaul is going to be able to teleport onto the point, but how much can Zera do? A stick from Mymone kills off Tree, and overtime will tick down. Mymone now scurrying away, and Zera does it once more! Another kill onto the Tracer, but how long can he keep this up?
He's buying time for Vega. Vega's about to find beat finally, as Infected comes back on his signature ball. Team Liquid still have the opportunity to fight.
Zera forced to recall there. It's Infected, like you said, spinning to win on the point. As Zera trying to just recover his CDs. A double blink onto the back line, but the sound barrier from Team Liquid might have just done it. A nice little slam as well. The lamp not enough for Ultraviolet and Admiral to stay alive in this fight. Zera pulls out heroics again for Team Liquid. A pulse bomb onto the shield, but it does not matter. They just need to continue to touch. Cuffer has popped their Nemesis form and it's actually clocked 2 people. It's Mymone ends up coming in the clutch with another kill onto Vega.
It's just
Cuffer. What? There's no way! GK have done it! They've defeated the curse of Team Liquid. They are your Stage 2 North American champions. A different name, but still a star-studded roster.
New organization, but the same core of players, adding Mymone into the mix. Losing star player Zera to opponents, Team Liquid here, and didn't Zera play well in that final fight. America's finest to try and keep Liquid alive in the series and alive in the map, but GK will not be denied. An almost perfect stage coming on through. Losing that upper bracket game to Team Liquid, learning their lessons from it. Coming in so strong, 3-0 in the lower bracket, annihilating Nightmare out in 3rd place. Leading in a match point in this series. A strong run from Liquid, but GK will not be denied.
GK picked this game type. They chose to go to Ilios, even though they've lost on control against Team Liquid the last 2 times they faced off against each other. An unbelievable turnaround. And by the way, that includes this series too. That first map went Liquid's way. A 4-3 victory, a map 7 for the North American Finals. GK, like you said, it's a different name, same core of players with the addition of Mymone. Take another stage. They are your North American champions. We're going to send it over to the desk as they can wrap up.
Thank you so much. The salty lower bracket comeback is completed. Revenge was had after a 7-map banger of a series. Both teams having their time in the sun. Both teams really knowing and understanding their win conditions. And both teams not being scared to take risks throughout those 7 maps. This was phenomenal. This was a peak Overwatch.
Wicked, to say the least. I mean, just even right at the end there, and you know, got to shout out Zero though. I know that Geekay won, but that was one of the most crazy Tracer performances to try and keep this going. It was just insane, front to back, all 7 maps. What a wild way to end NA.
I mean, yeah, I really thought Zero had it there for a moment. And then, you know, Vega gets back with the sound barrier. It's a crazy dive towards the backline as well, but Kaffa just stays alive on the point and gets the thing done on Ramatra. What an unbelievable series. You know, we teased it at the start of the series, which we said this could go 7. It went 7, and what a spectacular series it was. It was literally everything you could ask for. I mean, this was shades of, you know, Toronto Defiant Nightmare from last year that also went the distance in the grand finals, right? Just an incredible series back and forth. I think both teams showing their different styles. A Pigeon in the mix as well.
Okay.
But this aggression, it seemed to be the start of the comeback for Liquid, and they had all the momentum going into map 7. But I have to say as well, I mean, so scripted, I don't know by who, but so scripted that it came down to the BAP Life Weaver on the first round, and then it came down to the Ramatra on the second round. Those have been the main character kind of compositions throughout all of stage 2, and it ended with those two really making, you know, showing their true character in the last 2 rounds there of the grand final here in North America.
Yeah, and keeping just like that structure, Kaffa on that Ramatra just being so dominant. You highlighted of the, you know, your pick. I highlighted Infected, the tank line. Realistically, across all 10 players that we've had here, especially towards the end of it, they all had their highlight moments. They really did, which is why this goes to that map 7. But ultimately, Geekay making that great final moment, an amazing one to take this NA. I'm so excited to see them be able to get it.
It was also awesome to see both teams trying stuff that we haven't really seen from them at all in stage 2, right? Or very little of, such as like implementing that Symmetra. We've seen so much in the EMEA region. Now we've seen both teams looking quite confident and competent on that as well, which obviously bodes well for them heading into the mid-season championship.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible kind of like back and forth series across this. Like Geekay as well, I just got a hit on the fact that like they showed up with Mauga Reaper yesterday in the upper bracket final, and then they were like, yeah, just joking by the way, we're gonna come through today, and the BAP Lifer looked on point. They dealt with everything Liquid had to throw their way. Just an amazing comeback for this team now that, you know, kind of continues this legacy of theirs without Zero, who left after the Champions Clash. That was one of the story points we didn't really hit on, the fact that, you know, Geekay obviously playing against Zero, who used to be on the roster for Champions Clash when they had their big breakthrough internationally. But Geekay, they continue now with Maimon in the mix, who had a standout series as well. So really impressive by Geekay coming through here.
Yeah, I can agree more. Which player has stood out for you throughout this 7-map banger, Rich?
Oh, that's such a hard
All of them
one.
is a correct answer.
It really is. No, seriously, everybody had their moment, like start to finish. You know, when it came to Infected, turning it back around, Kaffa. But if I'm still gonna stick with Infected. I know that they weren't one of the ones that win, but when we saw that switch, I love Wrecking Ball. I see it, and if I have to pick one, for, you know, from Geekay who did take the win, I would say Kaffa is my other. I agree with you, Johnny, on how significant that Kaffa has been, and really just that front line that is necessary for this team.
Right, so I've just received word that we do have a winner's interview with, it should be Kaffa and Lethal, yes?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go with it. Never know what you're gonna get. Overwatch is
hello.
Chocolates. Lethal and Kaffa. First of all, yeah, right, guys. Congratulations, first and foremost, but also you have to walk us through this. What was going on yesterday? Like, this was a completely different series. Today you played it close, you came out on top. What adjustments did you guys make heading into today's match? Was there anything happening along the lines of, you know, hiding strats yesterday? Like, please make it make sense.
You can go, Kaffa.
Yeah, okay. I don't think the comp that we were playing yesterday was really an issue. I think it was just the way we were playing it. Like, if you watch back that game, I'm literally just like trolling my brains out on Morga. Like, the whole comp depends around me not trolling, and I just turbo trolled. So I think it was like that, and also like only a few days playing that. And so we just went back to like our basics, like what we've always played. And I mean, these guys are playing Ram Mirror after not learning from stage 1, so I don't know. We'll just beat them.
Okay, I have 2 comments. I have one. So is the man bun like a thing that you're gonna try and keep? Is that like for the headset to kind of block out of the way?
Nah.
Okay. No, well, a second one is with you now going into it. We saw so much more of the Ram. You didn't want to stick with the Malga. Again, you were kind of just testing things out. And, Wheat's even saying before we went into this match, going back to the basics. Is it just a night and day feel difference for you when you play the Ramatra? Just because it looks so strong for you, Kafa?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely confident, and like, it's chill to mirror on, like, it's fine. I think we've been playing a lot more Hazard this season. Like, we didn't really play much Ram most of the regular season. It was on like a few maps, but I mean, if it's a match where there's like money on the line and it's a Ram mirror, like, I'll just take that. Yeah, it's just fine with me.
Sorry, we got the iron mic.
Lethal, I gotta ask you, of course, you win here now. You won stage 2 in North America. You also had an amazing result at Champions Clash, getting 3rd there as well under the Nightmare organization. How do you kind of take the success